We're on, we're here, we are here. It's my birthday and we're singing a song and it's live on a Thursday night. But Friday for some of you. Hey everybody, welcome to the Blathering Live. This is the birthday edition. Now my birthday is on Friday, April 19th. Weird day for a birthday. Not the Friday, but the 19th of April maybe. I don't know. Not a lot of people celebrate that day worldwide as a big, famous birthday. There's people on there. We talked about that recently. At least you don't share it with, a certain former leader of a controversial YouTube demonetizing political organization and government in Germany. What am I talking about? This is how I start my birthday show? Trying not to say a World War II character to get everything going? To get to YouTube mad at me already? I almost feel like I should start over. Like, if I was pre-taping this episode, I think I would have just done this again. Hey, everybody. It's a birthday edition. I want to shout out two wonderful human beings from another world, another country, who already chimed in with some super chats. It's David McKay. We call him Channel 19. He says it's already Friday here in the best time zone, British summertime. Wow, he comes out of there. He comes out of the gate really, really tough on that one there. It's a happy birthday, David. I appreciate you there. Matthew Stokes is here. Not gonna be up late for this one, but happy birthday. The White Claws are on me, Matthew. Thank you. We're not even doing the White Claws today. We're going hard. Laser Bolt's here. How many is this? 46. Oh no, this is number 48. I was looking, you get the Facebook notifications, the memories. They called them memories on Facebook. Really daggers straight to your soul. You get the notification. So you get around this time, I get all the Facebook memories of birthdays past. All the birthdays I documented on Facebook, which means from about 2008 or 9 on, right? And it's just amazing to look at those memories. It's fun. I'm not so cynical that I can't look at those memories. But then you look at it and you're like, yeah, that is the face of a younger person. And at the time, I didn't appreciate it. So, which is why I'm saying I'm okay at 48. I have a skin routine. I don't, despite what it looks like on these streams, I don't drink a lot. I actually really don't. I really mean that. I save it for broadcast. And, I'm going to enjoy the youthful and circles in my eyes 48. But that's the lighting thing. And every week I say, I got to fix my lighting. I can't afford to get the lighting I need up here. I need some lighting up here. And I like lowering the lights of the house because I have these doctor office fluorescent lights in the house. They're not fluorescent, but they're so bright they might as well be. That I like a little bit of a darker studio like we do on Pop Rock and Radio. But I don't want it to be so dark that you can't see the sadness on my face. Lauren Romo's here. Hey, happy birthday, she says. HBD. I thought that was almost said HBK. And then Kingsport Cal's here. Says, here I go again on my own. Good to have you here, Kingsport Cal. I know you missed. I think we're going to settle. We might as well settle on Blathering Lives, the big ones being here on Thursdays. Because as long as I'm reviewing Bad Batch, and pretty soon we're going to be reviewing The Acolyte, Wednesdays, that's kind of tough for me to make. Kingsport Cal, I don't know. I don't know if that works for your work schedule. Let me know. Dylan Barry says, you don't look a day before tonight. The problem is right here. See this thing? Can you see? I don't have that darker circles. That's just the lighting. I look like a zombie. That's truly the lighting. I don't have them as dark. I have circles because, yeah, I'm old and tired, but they're not that bad. A lot of people checking in. Thank you. Kingsport Cal's also a channel member and wants me to burn in hell. By the way, that reminds me, that is, let's see, get the things up here. If you want to call in live, YouTube channel members and patrons get to call in live. You get the StreamYard link. It is a audio show, an audio call for you. My ugly face is on the camera, but you get to call in. You don't have to put on your show makeup. You don't have to change your clothes. Only I'll see you in the backdrop there. Everyone else gets to hear it. You get to call in if you're a channel member. There's a post up on my YouTube page for channel members giving you the link. And if you're a Patreon, go to Discord. Because you know why? I just realized Yeah, I just realized I didn't put it in Patreon today. I had a last-minute writing project today. So let me do this. Let me go into Discord. Let me go into Discord and update everyone. Just gonna tag everyone. This is the spot to get the link tonight. It's annoying to tag everyone. This is a live AM talk radio show for modern age. That includes me doing this stuff. Sorry, I forgot to put it on Patreon tonight. That really upsets me. Really upsets me. Lauren Romo says, can you use your phone to use the StreamYard link? Yes, you can if you download the StreamYard app. All right? If you download the StreamYard app. I'm trying to get it going here. We're just warming up tonight. That's what happens when you're working on a project until about 4:46 tonight. Yeah, it looks like this, Romo. You get the app, you drop the link in, boom, you're on. Brendan Casey always checks in on Facebook. I love that. The heat is says Ken Plume. 4 months shy of 50, no circles, but I have crow's feet coming in. It's seemingly harder to see each day. The eyesight is that went for me in the 10th grade. And it ain't getting better. But I don't have the crow's feet as much. It's that skin routine. It's that skincare routine I started. Kingsport Cal, it is a call, Cal. But you go through StreamYard. All right? We don't call anymore. We go through StreamYard. I was having sound issues with that. So, but no one's going to see your face. So you can keep your pants on or off because I know you. There we go. I got to email some stuff out here too. This is what we do. I have no birthday wisdom here tonight. I really don't. You guys got to give me the birthday wisdom. Also, we take calls, but we also take questions. And that's important to know too. If you got a question for me, give it to me. Give it to me right here. Oh, I just got a package notification. That's for you, Plume, and it ain't going to be picked up today. I'll tell you that because we're live on the air. Eddie Haskell's here. Happy birthday, Pants Off Dance. Pants Off, Dance Off. You know, you can do what you want. Eddie, you've earned the right to do what you want. Laserbolt says, I turned 57 last week and my crow's feet disappeared. Please share your secret there. Laserbolt, we want to know. Laserbolt, you've got the hair of a Greek god, so age does not define you. Joseph Thomas is there. Says happy birthday and evening. Good to have you here, Joseph. Always appreciate you checking in. This is where we're at, and we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna be live tomorrow for my birthday on Anytime with Ken and Alden, and that's gonna be an actual birthday broadcast. But we're gonna talk a little bit about legacy. There's Alden in chat there. We're going to talk a little bit about legacy tomorrow. That's running through my head. I'm not afraid of this number. I'm not even afraid of 50, but it looms over things. I have a friend who's turning 50 soon, and he was telling me, yeah, it's a thing. Like, you don't think it's a thing. You don't want it to be a thing. You actually want to embrace the thing, but it's a thing. And I've had some friends of mine who recently turned 50 the last couple of years. It's a thing, and a lot does change fast physically. But look at that. Jonas Berger is up with the best avatar screenshot there. Happy birthday, Jonas. Jonas, we handling some business, Jonas. Stand by to be pinged for drumming. How about that? First questions are coming in. We've got Ken Plume giving us a good topic here. Going to get these going here. Then thanks again to David and Matthew for Super Chats. Oh, as I always say, if you got a question for me, we'll be here for it's about 7 o'clock my time. If you got a question for me about life, the universe, and everything, I always just post it in here. It doesn't have to be a Super Chat. You can go to Stream Elements if you want to. I have that. That link is there as well, and you can support over there. We appreciate that. StreamElements.com/KenNapzok/tip. The link's down below. That's long. That's very long to remember. But if you got a question for me, I'm happy to answer it. I want to answer it. Let's chat. Let's talk. This is a AM radio talk show at its heart. But I love going where you guys want to go. And but if you ask me a question that I don't want to answer, I won't answer it. If I feel I can't legally, morally, or you're trying to get some tea spilled all over the screen. But if you give me a super chat, I will at least acknowledge the question. I will at least acknowledge it and explain maybe why I can't answer it. And then probably end up answering it. Boopenheim is here. Great interview recently on Anytime with Alden and Boop. All right. Dylan's got some great questions coming in. Our first call of the day is going to be coming in very shortly here. I'm Ken Knapsack. This is the Blathering here. We got this question here. I'll get to some questions and I'll get to a phone call here. LQ, always one of the best. LQ, you were at Star Celebration London, right? It's over a year now. My brain's starting to get the scrambles. But I think we're the same, what do you call that? Diameter? Space? You know what I'm talking about. Birthday cake or birthday pizza pie? This is a great question. It's actually very relevant, LQ. Vermont Mike is here as well. April is a good month for sure for birthdays. You too? This is a very relevant question, LQ, because tomorrow night I'm having a small gathering, not even at my house. A friend of mine's opening up her house to just have a little thing. Oh, LQ says Anaheim. That's right. It was Anaheim. Those conventions happened so close together that I just rolled them into 1-2 week bit of fun. And my friend is going to be making some pizzas for us to enjoy. It's a small little group gathering, 4 or 5 people. And then she said, well, what do you want for your birthday cake? Or like your birthday, you want like an ice cream cake or cupcakes? I was like, you know what? We don't need that. I don't need that. This year, I'm going pizza. And I stand by that. I think I am in a post. Hello, Tim, checking in on Twitch. Hello, Ken. Hi, chat. LQ, I think I am past. I'm in a post-cake part of my life now. I do like frosting. I'm a sucker for sugar, sucker for frosting. But even that's 2 bites and I get a little sick. 2 bites and it's a problem. And pizza doesn't, pizza has its own set of problems. But in the world of cake or pizza, I'm going pizza. I don't know if I've discovered that sweets are starting to not taste as good. 8984M says, my parents are at the age where they just get birthday fruit tarts. Vermont Mike approves of birthday pizza over birthday cake. Yeah, it's not that I don't want the cake in my soul. It doesn't hit as it used to. Jonah says, when I come to LA next time, we're getting some vegan dinner, Ken. Yes, you know what? I just ate at a great restaurant tonight. We late lunch. Ordered in because I was working at my desk today. I had to get some writing done. And there's a place in the Toluca Lake area called Something Vegan. And it's got one of my favorite meals. It's a vegan chicken taco kind of taco trio platter. And holy moly, it was so good, Jonas. You got to try that. All right. We got first calls coming in a second here. But you guys got some great questions coming in. A couple weeks from 40 myself. Can't bring myself to celebrate that. Just give me some Bud Light and I'm good, says Jake Yakavetta. Jake, you're gonna own the 40s. The 40s were a great decade. They are. I got 2 more years of my 40s. And on that note, before we get to some calls here, we got the Dylan Barry Network. Dylan says, didn't 30 loom and 40 loom? What's the difference with 50? They absolutely loomed. 30 absolutely loomed. It was scary. I didn't know what to make of it. Society teaches you that all things are now sliding downhill from there. But I felt I had accomplished nothing. I felt I was nowhere near what I wanted to be or who I wanted to be. And 30 ended up being a great decade. And I went through dramatic changes from who I was at 30 to who I was at 35 and beyond. Great amount of changes happened post 35. Great amount of things and experiences and people all my life post 33, 34, 35. But then you're there again. You have that knowledge. You think you've got it handled. Age doesn't scare you. 40 terrified me. 40 terrified me. I went on a long year anxiety run with it. I did podcasts about it, had friends on who would turn, Mark Riley, you're 40 and a half. Please tell me. Please tell me how, are you still alive? Like, I was terrified of it. And 40s has been a great decade. There's been a lot of things I wish had gone a little better, but career-wise and whatnot. But I experienced so many things I never thought I would, including the big things like love and family and comfort and dogs and cool career things. And it's been great. So, but all that to say, with all that knowledge, holy crap, I'm back looking at 50 going, oh, am I dead? Do you die at 50? Is that what happens? Is it Logan's Run, but at 50? So there you go, Dylan. It's kind of the human nature. You think you learn, and then you don't. All right, first call of the night coming in here. This guy is a very good Fortnite player. And he sent me something that I'm not going to get till the morning because the notification just came on. He's the host of Force 5 and many other wonderful shows, including a bit of a chat on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Ken Plume. How you doing, Mr. Ken?
Has my entire legacy been reduced down to he's a very good Fortnite player?
I think so.
Is that what I made myself? Is that what I've done?
But look, your legacy is a very good Fortnite player. My legacy is almost a good Fortnite player. So it gets worse.
But you're a great squad mate.
I think Fortnite, you know what? As I head into my 50s, Fortnite has taught me a lot about life and human dynamics and relationships.
I think
strategies.
It's what 50 is. You might look at 30 and 40 with trepidation. You look at 50 with resignation.
Yeah, you just kind of want to give up.
It's inevitable. At this point, we know everything is inevitable. We're gonna get older. Time's gonna go by. We're gonna end.
Yeah, and sometimes you win that crown, and other times, you take a shotgun blast to the face.
And sometimes you go in intentionally to lose it, just so you don't have the pressure anymore. I'm trying to maintain something that will fade and go away.
Who wants the pressure of success? That's what we say here. Yeah.
Well, that's my one-man show.
Yeah. Who wants to be a play?
I have not sold any tickets yet.
No. Over there at the North Hollywood Burbank Frank Marshall Theater. You haven't got any?
I'm thinking of going to the Comedy and Magic Club. That's where I hear the magic happens.
That's where it happens. Just ask Jay Leno and Jay Brogan. 8948
doesn't happen there.
8984 says, I can only dream to have a great Fortnite player on my tombstone. So there you go. Ken, you're already living the life someone else wants.
Oh, well, aim higher.
Aim higher. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind tonight? What do you got?
So I understand you're not going to do cake. I get that. I understand the practical adult approach to that. You can at least put stick a candle in an Uncrustable or something you enjoy that has a bit of sweetness to it to enjoy for your birthday. That's
not a bad idea.
I mean, that's you.
Yeah, I've got a small group. It's a real small group. So a pack, 2 4-packs of Uncrustables would cover the whole thing. I might be the only one enjoying it, which is a shame. I think more people should enjoy Uncrustables.
And if they choose to pass, there'll be no leftovers because we know that's something you will happily enjoy partaking of.
Yeah, absolutely. But I appreciate you coming on. You're not forcing a piece of cake down my throat, but you're defending the spirit of the celebration following dinner. That's the dessert. It's a button on the whole thing. But
it's a single serving.
It's a single serving.
You're not blowing on somebody else's food.
You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't blow on someone else's food.
Thank you, Jim Croce.
Jim Croce nailed it. But don't you agree, as the older we get, I won't out you for any of your ages and advancing years. But
I'm younger than you. I'll admit it.
Fair. But don't you agree that sweets, there's been a change in the atmosphere about sweets?
Yes. I certainly think that they're not as good, but also we've had them all. We've had them all to excess. I think that's the thing. I think it's the smoking the entire carton of cigarettes
Yes.
and that's what sweets over the course of a life where you've
Yes.
I know you've indulged. You've enjoyed
Absolutely.
sweets
Just
over
look
the
at me.
years. I've enjoyed sweets over the years.
Just look at me. Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
get to a point where you're just tired of it
Mm-hmm.
because the return isn't what you hope it will be. That high isn't as high anymore with sweets.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that I like your idea. It is I've eaten my fill. Like I have I there's no new joys and the downsides are too much. Like that little pink box of donuts shows up. Like I've had every donut in that box already. So I've been through it. And I don't think you mean it and I don't mean it cynically or depressed. I'm just like, yeah, I've done it. I don't
But
need
it's
that
not a
anymore.
treat anymore. We've
Not a
also,
treat anymore.
as adults, we've had that child dream when you go like, when I get a car, I can drive anywhere and do
Mm-hmm.
everything. When
Mm-hmm.
I get money, I'll buy an entire cake and eat the whole thing myself. Because that's a thing
Oh
I
yeah.
can do as an adult. Or
Yeah.
a dozen donuts, they're all mine. I bought them.
Mm-hmm.
I get the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. My first trip to the grocery store after I moved out of my house. Oh man, and you know I was taking care of some of the food when I was living at home, but like I had the whole free reign, and I just remember thinking, oh, you know what? I'm gonna make a sandwich. I'm gonna put Thousand Island dressing on the sandwich I made because I want to and I can and I can buy it.
Yeah, we've pushed ourselves over the edge. We
Mm-hmm.
know. We know where the edge is now. We also know the regret that comes from eating that. The
Yeah.
bodily regret, the gastrointestinal regret.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can't. Yeah, yeah. You got to. You got to take that in consideration. Now, here's two interesting things come up in chat here. 8984M says in China people eat birthday noodles, and I could be down with that now. I think I've reached the point in my life where you get me some birthday noodles. I'd probably appreciate that more than a birthday cake.
But it's also
Noodle thoughts?
what do you enjoy? What is tops on your list? Like if you're treating yourself. This was a question I asked earlier. Was what
Okay.
your favorite birthday experience? You're crafting your entire birthday experience for yourself at your height. Money is not an issue. You know, you're not worrying about your GI tract. You're just like, here's what I'm gonna do and treat myself to on my birthday. What is that day?
Well, I mean, my ultimate birthday experiences in the past are the ones in which I have the most amount of people around. And it's not to celebrate me. I'm always in the middle of a lot of different friend groups, and I love getting them all together, and I love mingling them, and I love just getting a little, red faced with a little drink and enjoying that. And
You're a mixer man.
I'm a mixer man. But in terms of a morning, a nice hearty breakfast, an omelet, a birthday omelet, I'm not going to have time for that tomorrow because
Okay,
Alden's making me do any time with a Ken and Alden tomorrow. He's forcing me to.
You
do
don't
it.
know that it doesn't have an omelet station.
That's true. He could have flown out here. He could be on a plane right now, delivering.
He could be outside your door right now, setting up the omelet station.
Could be. He wants me to adopt him. And then, I love my Mexican food. I can do all that. But all that aside, it's a drink in hand. But the people around me, and in terms of like, if I'm going to treat myself to a dessert or something like that, hey, froyo. Froyo is the forgotten treat. It's one of my favorites.
I mean, when was the last time you gave yourself froyo?
It was about middle of 2023. A friend of the show here in chat, Mike Fink, recommended a vegan frozen yogurt place in Glendale. Grace and I went there, and it was delightful. But that's been the last time.
Glendale isn't that far from you.
2023
is far from you.
Yes.
It is a lot of time has passed.
Yes.
Since you last had it. It's your birthday. Why
so
not
you're
get yourself some froyo?
Maybe that'll be on the docket Saturday. Maybe I'll celebrate all weekend. I'll go get some froyo on Saturday. I think you've convinced me that I need to get out of the house and get some froyo.
It's a thing you enjoy.
I love it.
How is the weather? Has the weather settled into something?
It's up
manageable?
and down. It's manageable though. It's manageable. So we don't even need to layer up. We'll just get in the car and go.
Froyo in the sun. That's a song, right?
That's a Weezer song. I actually think it's a Weezer song.
Is there anything that's not a Weezer song?
That or it's a Randy Newman song. Get some froyo in the sun.
I love
People,
that froyo in the sun.
people checking in on Twitch. Thank you, sir. I got some calls to get to. We might bring you back. And I'll probably be playing Fortnite later tonight anyways.
I'm here if you need me. If you
But
don't,
your
happy
package.
birthday.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Your package arrived safely. I did get the email notification 2 minutes after I went live. So
you don't know what it is. It may be nothing. This may be the biggest gaslight for your birthday you've ever had.
I really hope it is.
But regardless, I've made it an inconvenience for you, and that is what giving a birthday gift to a friend is all about.
Yeah, I have to go tomorrow morning. Again, before Alden forces me on any time, I have to go pick up dog meds and a package from Ken Plume.
Darn well better have an omelet station ready. He's in that chat. He'd better be prepping it right now and have all the fixins ready. So it was a pleasure to talk to you. I'm here if you need me. But everyone listening, get on this. Get on a call with Ken.
Yes,
it is an enjoyable experience. And hit that like button and throw money at him. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Plume out. I appreciate that. Dylan asked another question. What drink in hand for the birthday? I'm finishing up this Zaya rum. This Zaya 16-year aged rum and a little diet soda. So it's been going good. Appreciate that. All right. More calls. I love this. Calls are coming in. Welcome to the live Blathering. Here, a birthday edition. If you have a question for me in chat, just put it there. If you want to super chat or you want to do something nice, tip, you can do that. You can also PayPal. And by the way, none of that is needed to enjoy the show or be part of the show or ask questions in the show. Just something that is possible to help keep the show alive there. All right, next caller. Here he is. I have a plethora. Dare I say, I have a plethora of choices right now. But I'm eager to get to this guy, even though it's audio only, because he threatened to call in, and he's missed the last 2 weeks as he's been working. He's one of my favorites, and I'm going to have the mute button ready. Kingsport Cal, you're on the show live. Welcome. I love you, man. What's on your mind?
Hello, Ken. Can you hear me?
Oh, you sound so sexy.
Oh, I know I sound sexy, man. I'm always sexy. I am always sexy. How are you doing, my friend? I love you very much, Ken. You are one of my favorite people on the internet, as you know.
Wow.
You are my white brother from another mother. Even though you live in California, I can excuse you for that.
Okay.
But I wanted to I don't really have a question. You know how I am. I just I do feel like I am owed some obligation to talk to you for just a tad bit longer because I have been working and contributing to my society and doing things, so I could not get on and be a part of the show.
So what you're saying is you're telling me, you're not asking, you're telling me that you don't get one question. You get like an interview segment because you've put in the time, not for my show, but you put in the time for society as a working man.
I put in time as society as a working man for decades.
Look,
and
Cal,
also, I put in time on you for almost a decade. I'd say about 2012, 13, something like that. You cannot deny it.
But
you
Cal,
cannot deny it.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I have an actually. Wait a minute. I hate to cut you off, Ken. I have an actual commentation about the first time I talked to you because it was you and Brett on the show's no. But But anyway, what did you say?
I was going to say, you're going to get your way because I'm going to speak frankly here. You're my invitation to the cookout, and I'm not losing that. I'm not losing it.
Anything black related, Ken, you are involved. Anything black related. I mean, you know, it's like. Let me tell you this, Ken. If you let me tell you this.
Yeah.
If you was at the cookout.
Yeah.
And you had the Kool-Aid packets and shit, and you was making the Kool-Aid, and somebody said that white guy's making Kool-Aid. I say it's all right.
It's all right.
That Kool-Aid's gonna be great. Kool-Aid's gonna be the best you ever fucking had in your life. I'm sorry.
Because you would say, look at it. You would say, look at him. That guy's enjoyed some Kool-Aid in his life. Look at that sugar. Look at that sugar on his sides. Yeah.
That white man knows how to make Kool-Aid. I can assure you that.
Love it.
He
All
also
right.
can order a Subway sandwich.
He can. All right. Shout out to Jeff May in chat. All right. Hit me with your question. Hit me with your commentations, as you said.
Well, I want to tell you happy birthday. Oh, I want to tell you my story, Ken, that happened to me on my birthday. I went to work on my birthday. If you recall, my birthday was March 25th.
I do. Yeah.
You appeared on the Wanger show that night.
I did.
And I happened to be off, and yeah, that was great. That was a very good night for me. I love that. That was very
Love
good.
it.
Thank you.
Love it.
Anyway, even though you had no idea that what the hell was going on, thank you very much.
Okay.
But so I went to work the day before on the 24th.
Okay.
And I went in I went in to sign this thing. We do it. I work in the factory. You have to sign this sheet. So what time you came in? So I did that. And then there was a cake there, and everybody started singing happy birthday, and I immediately walked out because we have this you have to go up these stairs and go to this little room that we do our meetings before we go down onto the floor, as we call it, do our work. We work
pre-work meetings. Okay.
Yes. So at the pre-work meeting, they had the cake out there. They started singing happy birthday. I walked out of the pre-meeting room thing. I walked out. I was like, no.
You walked out of your birthday at work?
I walked out because they tried to do a surprise birthday party thing on me, and I didn't like that shit because I am a introverted person, Ken.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
No, let's break this down, Cal. If you're going to take the time on my show, I want to rebut here. I want to dive in. So you are. It's because you have anxiety about attention on you. So it's not that you don't want to be celebrated. You just want to know when it's happening.
Well, you're right. You're right. I don't want a lot of attention drawn to me because I'm just.
But have you seen yourself in a YouTube chat? A lot of attention on you.
Oh yeah, I know that. I do like doing that because I do like doing that. But I'm talking about as a person. See,
okay.
I guess it's different. We're getting into some crazy stuff now, Ken. If you want to go there, we can. But no,
Yeah, use your time wisely. You use your time wisely. I'm not going
to
let you go forever, Cal.
I know that. I'm trying to. But you're bringing up other stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to the Kool-Aid bowl and mix some Kool-Aid. You talk.
Well, you were bringing up other things, but yes, I did sabotage in a way. I kind of did sabotage my own little birthday party, but I went back in and played into it. I had to cut the cake and give people pieces of cake and stuff because Pat, my lesbian manager boss, was like, you have to give people
a lot of
cake.
descriptions.
So I'm just telling you what's happening.
That was a journey in the description of Pat.
I'm telling you, like if we were sitting down talking right now. I'm telling you what happened. Anyway, so I had to go into it and give everybody a piece of cake and act like I loved everything that was going on, which is really great that they appreciate me. The people at work, they appreciate me. They done that. That was amazing.
Okay.
But I just didn't like the way they presented it. I don't like public recognition for anything like that. Now, is that something? Now I can turn this into a question. Is that something that you feel that you need to be recognized for? Hey, it's my birthday. Do you feel you need to? Do you feel that you need to be? No.
In fact, Jeff May's in chat. Birthday attention makes him feel uncomfortable. I can kind of agree with that. I enjoy it. Same things happen. Like this is a year I was like, I'm not really going to celebrate my birthday. I might have a birthday stream. But tomorrow night, a couple friends are going to get a drink. That was at the urgence of my fiance and also my good friend Jen Merle, who just said, no, you're going to celebrate you for a day. So it does make me uncomfortable. But I don't crave attention in life, despite being a performer. I'm a performer I'm a broadcaster and a comedian and a writer because that's how I communicate with the world. Because otherwise, I'm too shy to communicate. And I need that system, that structure, that facade to speak about the world through my eyes. And it's not an attention thing. It's just the only way I know how to talk. If you're on a car trip with me for more than 10 minutes, I don't say much. I don't talk much in real life. So I don't crave the attention, but so I understand what you're talking about.
Well, Ken, I knew you would. I knew you'd understand. I knew you'd figure it out.
There you go.
I know, like I said, there's a reason. There is a reason why I say that. You're saying yes before I even finish the sentence, but there's a reason why I say we are brothers from another mother, because we think exactly the same.
And I one day will return to Johnson City, Kingsport, Tennessee, Bristol, Tennessee, and we're gonna have a great time.
I don't think you ever be. I know you want to get me off here again. I know you are, but I don't think you ever come back to East Tennessee.
You're
as much as I would love it. As much as I would love you to.
You're challenging me.
You would never come back. I'm telling you right now, Holiday Inn in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Yeah, I know it.
If you can convince Mark Ellis, my voice is cracking. You can go there.
Because you're emotional.
Come see you.
Okay.
I am emotional because I love you, Ken. You are. Oh, I remember I was going to tell you. Wait a minute. You mean one more second?
Okay, you got it. Get to it.
I'm doing it. Let me get this cough out.
Stop smoking. Stop smoking cigarettes.
Hey. They can take my cigarettes from my cold dead hands. When I first called you and talked to you was on Slowdown when you was with Brett. And Brett had told you that day, at least this is what I gather, and I'm exactly sure on this because I wasn't there with you guys. But Brett had told you that day that you were inspiration to him. And I called in. I didn't know any of that, okay? And I called in, and I was talking to you. You said, "Yeah, who we got?" Da da da. I was like, and I was talking to you, and I was like, "Ken, you're an inspiration to me." And Brett bumped your shoulder and looked at you like, I think he said that to you that day. You think, or at some point in time. Am I wrong?
I don't remember that. I don't remember. I remember the call, but because that's when we learned you were in Kingsport. I love East Tennessee, but I don't think I'd be an inspiration to Brett Sheridan. I think Brett Sheridan would want to reach higher.
Well, maybe he just done the bump, as in like, look, kid, people like you. I don't know, but I thought that, you know what I mean.
It might be that. It might be that because I don't believe a lot of people like me. Yeah, I agree with that.
A lot of people fucking love you, Ken. I love you. I've loved you forever. I did want to say something about some. I wanted to get into some. I know you're trying to get me off here. I understand that.
I'm not trying to get you off, Cal. I have 5 calls to get to, and I fear we'll be here all night with you.
You could be, but I do have. Let me get one question in.
One question.
This is inspired by Hector Navarro.
Hector Navarro's great. Hector's great.
Yes. He does a Southern lawyer thing, and I'm going to do that with Star Wars. Now, your name, can you state your name for the record, Mr. Kenneth Knapsack?
We're doing a bit. We're doing a sketch here. Okay.
Yes, we are, sir.
Okay.
We are, sir.
But Kenneth Allen Knapsack.
Okay, Kenneth Allen. Do you say you are affiliated with Force Center? They talk about Star Wars. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, Joseph Scrimshaw, Jennifer Lando, myself. Force Center. Yeah.
All right, your cohorts in this endeavor.
Yeah.
Now, so you consider yourself to be a Star Wars expert? Is that right?
Well, I consider myself to be a student of Star Wars. Yeah.
A student. Okay.
A student of Star Wars.
Well, I would say many YouTube channels and episodes and shows would dispute that statement.
Fair enough. But I'm a student of it. Yeah. Okay. Continue.
Okay. We can say this. Now, can you describe to me the ways of the Jedi and how that is not similar to a cult?
Because you can leave the Jedi Order. Simple rule. Cults, you
You can leave a cult, Mr. Knapsack.
It
You
takes
can
a
leave
lot of
cult
effort.
if you
They don't
choose
want
which
you to leave. You don't get to just go in and go, I'm going to take a Barash vow and go on my own, or I'm going to become a way seeker. The cult wants you to stay. You're in. You're in.
Okay. I will take that answer. Your Honor, I do not approve of
Cal.
that answer. I think that you can't
Cal.
you can't leave a cult. Also, I want to ask you really quick, sir.
Okay, you've got 16 bonus questions, Cal.
Darth
16.
Vader.
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
Hit
This
me.
is a touchy question. Darth Vader
Hit me.
force chokes people.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, he does. He's a dark side
Now,
user.
in this force choke, is that any way sexual?
No.
Is that
no?
Does Vader have an
we're not judging
asphyxiation
your kink.
effect?
No one's kink shaming, but I don't think Vader has any love in his heart or any joy in his heart to experience sex is created by the good Lord.
I don't think asphyxiation fetish should be
Cal.
made for
Cal. Cal, you got the comic timing of a plane crash, but I love you, and I appreciate the call. I really do.
Luke and Leia. What
gonna
involved?
have you call
was
back.
that incest?
Okay.
Was that not incest?
You need to lay off the cigarettes and the ones with
do you
nature
abide
in them.
by that, sir? Do you abide by incest?
I abide by anything in the Star Wars galaxy.
In the galaxy far, far away, you abide by incest, my sir.
Okay, this court has gone on too long. And I stand by everything in Star.
I'm out of order. The Blathering's out of order. I love you. I love you, Cal. I said my old man. I love you, Ken. I will see you when I see you.
There you go. That is all in good fun. And no one get nervous. Cal is 90% okay. 90% okay. This is the Blathering Live. Great Scott is here. Says, what did I just walk into? John Mariano's here. Hey, Johnny M. from Long Island. LQ says it's gone off the rails. I don't think it was on rails to begin with. But Cal is the best. We love him. I've been speaking to him for a long time. Will McClade says, just pulled the stream up. What is happening right now? What is happening is controlled chaos. And it's my birthday stream. And if you want to call in, there's ways to do it. Become a channel member. Or you can become a Patreon supporter and get into my Discord, and you can get the link to call in there. I usually post it on Patreon, but I forgot today because I was working till about 4:50 today. More calls are coming in. We're going to take a quick call right now from someone making her return to the airwaves here with me from a certain point of view. We've got Low Road Knows herself, Lauren Romo of the Galactic Podcast. Lauren, how are you doing, and what did you think about Cal?
How did I know I was going to be the follow-up to?
Because I need some calmness.
Oh, you okay? All right, I'll go with that. Happy birthday, buddy. How you doing?
Thank you, Romo. I'm doing good. We're doing great. Yeah.
So, with birthdays, here's my question to you.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all know people who are big birthday people. Right. Yeah. They like to celebrate.
They like to go all out. Paris Hilton style. Yeah.
Right. They do a whole a month. I have friends that do that. What is your take on that? I'm okay with it. I have no problem with it. It's interesting that people do a whole month sometimes though. What's your thought?
Yeah, when I was, I think 30 or 35, I did a month long. I might get a birthday breakfast on Saturday. It's fine. I'm going to extend the celebration. I think it can become performative. I think there's energy behind it. I won't say, but a couple years ago, we went to a birthday party, Grace and I. Very nice person. But I hadn't really met them before. And I walked in. I was a contact through Grace. And it wasn't a birthday party that had a calm. What am I trying to say? It was all a show, is what it was. It was all a praise me. I am the best. You're all here for me. What have you brought me? I need to be in every photo. And it just had an energy to it that I didn't like. Versus other people, hey, we're just having a good time. I'm humbled that you're here. No gifts needed. That kind of. I'm more for that, if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, I think the vibes, right? I think
Vibes, man. The
yeah,
vibes.
I think it depends on the person too, maybe. If that person's a different way, yeah. I just find it sometimes it is like I am more of I think with you and even with kind of what Cal was saying too, I'm more of a
Yeah.
low key, like
Yes. We
cool,
all
one day, we're good.
we all just saw how low key Cal is, and he's
That's
definitely
fair.
an example of low keyness. And we love him for it. Romo, kickback question to you though before I
Yeah.
let you go. What is the biggest wildest birthday bash you've ever had for yourself?
Who? So I'll give you two. One was just recent when I turned 40. I
Okay.
did a Star Wars. We went to Galaxy's Edge in Florida. It was
Mm-hmm.
me, my mom, my dad, brother, sister-in-law, my sister, her niece, her kids, my brother's kid, one of their children came with me,
Mm-hmm.
and we did 3 days,
3
and
days at Disney World.
it was great. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
That's a big one.
I
That's
think
a big one.
this my other one, real quick, was 30. We
Mm-hmm.
did took a bus to a Tigers game, and
Ah,
I had my name on the big scoreboard for a happy
nice.
birthday. So that was fun. So that was a big
Nice.
that was probably the other big one I did. It was probably
Did
30 and 40.
like Meglio Ordonez wave at you?
Yeah, yeah, I think was it I'm trying to think. Geez, 10 years was Maglio might have been there. He might have
Yeah,
been still been on the team. Still been on the
that's
team.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Good. All right, get out there and celebrate your birthday in a big fashion. Go to Vegas. Do something crazy next time out. Okay?
All
Do
right.
that for us. Could you do
I
that
will
and then report back?
I will report back. I will report
Okay.
back. We got till September, so I'll report
Okay.
back.
Love it. Laura Romo, thank you for the call.
All right, buddy.
Thank you for the
Happy
birthday wish.
birthday.
I'll see you on Fortnite soon.
All right, sounds good.
A lot of calls to get to. You're listening and watching the Blathering live, having great fun. Love Cal, love Laura Romo, love Ken Plume, love all the calls coming in. A lot of fun. We'll be here till about 7 o'clock. My time. If you want to give a super chat, a stream element tip, or a PayPal donation to help keep the channel going, I'll be blunt. It definitely helps, but also not needed to enjoy the show here tonight. We're just hanging out and having a good time. I want to shout out our buddy Jeff May, who showed up in chat, was on the calls the last couple weeks too. And he says, we have the same middle name. Oh, you just learned that. Kenneth Allen, Jeffrey Allen. I think it was a very popular middle name. I've known a couple other Allens, middle names in our eras of age. I want to shout out Jeff. He had me on his podcast. Jeff has cool friends. It's up on his Patreon page right now. Jeff, if you're still in chat, drop that link in there. And then next week it'll be public. So bonus content on the interview up there now on the Patreon page. We had a great conversation. I think we're supposed to do 90 minutes. We did longer than that, I believe. So good stuff there. Hanging out. Highway Johnnyman's checking in here saying happy birthday. Love when Highway Johnnyman checks on into the show. Thanks to those watching on Twitch as well. Including Super Saiyan Spin here as well. And Tim, as I said earlier, checking in. You might be watching on Facebook. Let me know. I go live in 3 spots just to, make sure everyone gets a piece of me. It's like everyone gets a piece of birthday cake. All right, we've got 3 calls queued up here. If you want to call, you know how by now. Become a channel member, and you will get the link to call or be on my Discord through my Patreon page right now, and you will be there as well. I got 2 people. We're gonna get to Brennan and a surprise mystery guest who I might just bring up on camera because he's pretty. But I have not heard directly from this caller. We're gonna bring in Joseph right now. Joseph, how are you doing? I love that you called in, man.
How's it going, man?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I just want to take the rare opportunity I have to actually call in because normally I'm still at work, but I'm taking my own little vacation this week, so I
Well
have free
deserved.
time.
Well deserved. Well deserved. What's on your mind, man? What hit me? Hit me.
I just want. I hope you can indulge me for a second. I just wanted to show some appreciation because I've gotten a chance to talk to you through DMing and all that, but I've never gotten a chance to talk to you over the just personally like this. So
Sure.
just wanted to take the opportunity to say, man, I've just appreciated all the work that you've been doing over the years. But I started watching your stuff back in 2017, I think it was,
Mm.
and it all started when we were just I just came across your show and you were just talking about your 7-Eleven trips, and I just thought that was hilarious entertainment, and then things, things that just got really. Then you got real, and you start talking about your personal things and like your experience with like depression. And I was kind of going through a very similar thing at the time, and so I decided to reach out, and you reached out back, and we've gotten to communicate a little bit ever since then. And all these years later, I've had my many ups and downs, figure things out,
Yeah.
but and you
Yeah.
know,
I appreciate you, Joseph. And I remember when you reached out and you were really vulnerable what was going on. And certainly I'm not going to divulge that here. Don't worry, no secrets. But you had a lot going on. But I really love the work you put in on yourself. I love the work you allowed to happen around you with the changes and risks and job pursuits. And you're out here doing it. You're out here chasing not just a dream, but continuing to improve. And that doesn't mean it's always going to be perfect and it's not going to fall down. You're not going to have the bad days, months, or even the bad years. But I've watched you from afar. I've watched
no
as
doubt.
you've got into your passions and your pursuits in an actual career. And I think that journey began around the time that you reached out to me. You had taken some brave choices to move forward on some things to help yourself. And if I have 0.5% of anything to do with that, it's a good legacy to hang a hat on that I have. But it's really all about you, man. It's really all about the choices, the brave choices you made to move forward.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, just for sure though. It just all through all the ups and downs, through all the grinding and the work. I've just appreciated all the entertainment, and I've really enjoyed the Ken and Alden stuff lately. That's been
Oh,
great stuff.
that you like that? Yeah, that guy's a jerk, but he's good. He's good. He's good. No, I appreciate it, Joseph, and hopefully we'll get to meet up soon, and I'll give you a big warm hug, or maybe just a cold hug. It'll be, you know what? I'll move my hips out. Don't worry, okay?
That sounds good, man. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate
Happy
it.
birthday.
All
You
right.
take care.
Thank you. Joseph checking in. Jared the Dark Jedi checking in chat says, yes, he is a jerk. We're going to get to that guy, I think, soon here. Thank you, Joseph. I really appreciate that call. And yeah, I love doing the pointless, silly stuff at 7-Eleven and talking about the silly things. But as someone who is not only far from perfect, but is far from perfectly formed, I love opening up my heart. If I bleed onto a microphone, my hope is that you'll find the Band-Aid for yourself if you're going through that as well. So I appreciate Joseph calling in. He's a great guy and doing some great work. I don't want to get too much into what I know about it, career stuff he does and things. It's DM stuff. That's DM stuff. But I've always been proud of him and someone that I've watched blossom from afar. Speaking of someone who has blossomed from afar, and unfortunately too close to me. This next guy, and I might just bring him up on camera. I might as well. Because I see your face every frickin' Friday. But I'm happy to do it. Alden Diaz, check it in. How are you doing, my friend? How are you?
I'm all right. I sent you a text, right? And you don't have to look at it because it's.
I'll look at it right now. You're challenging me, okay?
I texted you and I'll read it. I said,
okay.
Let me know if you have a slot for me to call in. This was at 8:06 p.m. Eastern. I will actually ask a question. I'm not just a living meme.
Oh,
but then I realized maybe living meme is the energy tonight. Maybe that's the vibe. And then after I sent the text, I thought, well, he's a professional. He's not looking at his phone. And then I was like, wait a second. I have the keys to that place. I could go in. I could just hit enter. And so here I was.
Yeah.
And Mando is also shouting you out. He's freaking out.
Is that a dog? It sounds like you're babysitting a young human, but that's a dog as well. Yeah, I did almost text you back and say, well, you literally have the password to this account, so get on in here. But I emailed it nonetheless. There you go.
And anyway, I'm not going to take up too much time because we have a show. We're doing it tomorrow. And that's on the Anytime channel. Links, all that are below. And we're going to talk about some of the stuff. This will be relevant to that because it's an overarching of your birthday.
Okay.
And on the day before, you and I texted, birthdays, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like this. I watched Steve Martin's doc, and now I'm in this place. And we're going to get into it there in full. Okay. But then I, like you, I have an interest in late night hosts and the history and comedy. And we've had some great conversations recently about SNL. And then I stumbled upon, and I've seen these before, but I re-stumbled upon that 2-part video about the late night wars. And
Yeah.
it's Conan versus Leno part 1, part 2, and then there's an epilogue that's Conan versus Lopez. And I rewatched those, and of course
Jennifer or George?
that would be George. Jennifer versus Conan would have been more entertaining, I'm sure.
Okay.
And you have, the book that you always recommend, which I own but still have not read. It's on my Audible. About the late night wars and the history and everything. Yeah, Late Show.
Yeah.
So
Late Shift.
Rewatched all that, and I am going to get to the Late Shift to get all the details. And it got me thinking, and this is my question for you, since it might not fit into tomorrow's because it's more theories and stuff. What's next for the Tonight Show? And as a follow-up to that, are we now in a formula where I should assume that Jimmy will leave, Seth will move up to the big job, and then someone gets Seth's job, possibly a Colin Jost? Is it going to be SNL? Is it going to be SNL to the B job to the A job every time?
Yeah, be careful of those B jobs and A jobs. It might be, and I forget how much Lorne Michaels has his tentacles into the late night shows beyond late night, right? Conan's old show, and whatnot. I think he's still obviously Seth's there, but Jimmy's there as well. I can't remember. And by the way, I actually am a fan of Lorne Michaels and his legacy and everything. But he's easy to poke at. He is a man of power in the business without a doubt. So that might have its own levels of problematic. But what is the future for it? I don't know. The Tonight Show. And I am not a huge Fallon fan, but I've always understood what he set out to do, and I do think he has a place in the arena. It doesn't have to be mine. And I'm not talking about Jimmy as a person. There's been things he's struggled with that we should be aware of and give him room to struggle and grow through. And then there's just been his kind of, shucks, I don't do anything important. I just effing around kind of energy, which is not always my favorite. It never has been.
He brought gamesmanship and karaoke and like things like that to the game.
And it's working. Just like James Corden is a problem on a lot of levels too. Not a fan at all, and I do not like carpool karaoke, but it is exactly what was needed for this generation and era and where we're at. But as the future of the Tonight Show, here you and I were having this discussion off air about WWE or Saturday Night Live or things where it's like we are no longer in a water cooler era, meaning we are all not watching the same thing. And I'm not the first to say this, won't be the last. There's many docs and exposés and written words about it. It doesn't mean it does not mean those things are less than. A lot of people I've heard a lot of people say that the current run of SNL, this cast right now, is perhaps one of the best in years. I'm not engaged with it because I just don't watch anymore. But I used to be an SNL historian. I used to never miss a second of the show, and I just don't watch anymore. But there's so many choices and all those things you hear it over and over again. The importance of the Tonight Show is long been removed. That doesn't mean the history's been removed, but I think the next changeover will be the lowest. The change of the least esteem, if that makes sense.
Right.
Whether it's Seth or not,
And now, like the thunderous passing of the torch, it'll just be like when we trade players or when we.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, because you're right. I mean, like, Fallon is at I believe a decade now of his run.
Wow. Really?
Because I think I was a senior in high school when he got it. Because Leno. Yeah, because Leno 2 was 2010. That's when the Conan War happened. Leno had it while I was in high school, and then as I was graduating, Fallon took over, and he was the new hotness. And then that means Colbert has to be on 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Since Dave retired, at least from that job. And so, it's interesting now. Like I feel like maybe a changeover overall is coming. Like they've tried to go further. Like Fallon is credited with like he brought the internet to it. You hear that a lot. He brought the internet,
and I'd say that's right. Yeah,
and that's true. But what I wonder is that as far in as you can go? Because Lily Singh, I think, only got 2 seasons, and then it didn't work out. They've tried several different like let's make it online
Yes.
versions, and I think it's like it's something that ecosystem just resists, shrugs it.
Yeah. Yeah, because time slots don't mean as much anymore. And there's a lot of people in chat shouting out Conan, and Laserwalt says that anyone watch that Hot Ones
Oh yeah,
episode?
it's been a big week for Conan. I mean,
it's been a big week, and it's been a big week for hosts who are pretty lame, getting a lot of attention. Anyways,
yeah, Conan did something that I did not think could be done for me personally, and that's make Hot Ones entertaining or interesting. I'll be the one that says it.
You're right.
I had people that we both know and like, people like Jared or Trey Mitchell or whoever out here like, oh, Alden has to enjoy a Hot Ones. No, I don't. I enjoy Conan O'Brien.
By the way, Hot Ones is a simple genius concept, and I used to work for one of the people behind it. It's a genius and it's not shade at Sean Evans. He does his job well.
No, and his producers do their jobs well.
It's just so dull, and Conan came in and owned it in a way I'd not seen before.
And
there's
so
little
it's been
moments.
nice, it's been nice
there's
to see
meme moments.
All of us of every age bracket, from older than you to younger than me, all giving this one guy his flowers across this entire week. It's been really, really lovely and funny. And maybe that's also why I went down the late night rabbit holes that I just
it's great. But I think we're in a post time slot era of entertainment, and you cannot go back to it. Like shows releasing weekly is the most we can hold on to it, or sporting events or concert events, right? Those are the only things that I think are time slot, necessary or time slot centric. Sliding into bed at night to watch Letterman was a thing. To watch Leno was a thing. Johnny Carson was in your home every night to say goodnight. That was a thing. And it'll never be that thing again.
No one has that. Like, even I, who likes this stuff, and maybe you're in this place now too, because I don't think you and Grace are tuning in for any of these guys right now. But it's like, but because you like it, whose interview style is for you, and therefore you go and check it out. You'll find it on YouTube, or you'll find what the thing is.
I am I know Jon Stewart's on Monday nights, a daily show. I know that Tuesday morning over breakfast, I'm going to watch YouTube clips of that show, but I don't seek it out Monday night.
I do too. And Colbert right now is my favorite interviewer in late night. And so when Colbert has a guest that I really like, I check out Colbert. And even Seth, I do like Seth Meyers. I grew up during his update era.
Interesting.
So
that
has colored my perception of what Weekend Update is.
Who's your favorite weekend update anchor?
I want to say Seth or Norm.
Okay. There's no wrong answer. This is not a wrong answer.
I think I'm comfortable with Seth or Norm.
Okay. I like
because
that.
Norm, when I was a kid, Norm's was already like kind of mythic. Like it was kind of like because we knew like our neighbors had like all the like best of this cast member.
Right.
And so like I would pop in like the Sandler and Norm DVDs and stuff. But I think that's probably it. I mean, update now, I think it's so like we know behind the curtain that update is whoever the head writers are. So it just kind of feels like more of a job perk than its own chair. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, we know that Colin and Che are the head writers, and therefore they do that because they're busy doing other shit.
Yeah, Che, I like what Che's doing. Steve in chat says Che's killing it now. Yeah, I like that. My all-timer is always going to be Dennis Miller, and no matter where he ends up now in people's minds, I get it. But he rewrote the book on how to do that. But like I said, no wrong answer. No wrong answer.
Now here's my question, and then I'll get out of the way. Two mini questions, two-part. One. And I don't know anything. This is not a scoop or a leak.
Okay.
Do you think Mark Ellis has ambitions for any of these jobs? Because I do think he'd be really good at it.
He'd be great at it. No.
He's not that comedian who's like, I always wanted that.
Mark shares something with me in spirit. It is truly the independent spirit of if I want to wake up at 10 o'clock or 1 p.m. on one of the days of my week, I want to choose to do that. And it's not to say that that's any late. Mark's one of the hardest workers. If you ever been on the road with him, Mark is up and in the gym, or he never misses the gym, or we have a he's I got to go right. Like, he's tremendously disciplined. But I think that the grind of a late night talk show, you and I, the grind, we joke about that grind, with that Triple H grind. But the grind is beyond what I think grind culture is. The grind is it's something you live.
Yeah.
And
it would take away also one of his passions. Like, he wouldn't be able to do stand up for
not as much, and not as well.
Majority of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, you could still do it. Trevor Noah still do it. Yeah, those guys did it. I mean, John Henson, we used to host Talk Soup, would have the evenings to go do it. But
Taylor Tomlinson, I think, did her stand up during her stint. Is she the one that goes on after Colbert right now?
They brought back midnight at midnight for her, and I like that, but it doesn't. And I'm a big fan of Taylor Tomlinson. Really, am a big fan.
She's really cool.
I really, really like her work, and I think she has the late night talk show energy. There's a certain energy. Not everyone can do it, and not everyone's built for it. It's a certain energy that you can just kind of pick out on stage, and she's got it.
It's hard to be positioned as the after show for such a titan.
Yeah. Well, but also in a different format. I think it was a wild, risky swing to do the at midnight reboot, and I don't think it's a bad thing. But to what Tully's saying of a whiff, it has the aura of a whiff, because you have this great talent who. Ken Plume and I talk about this a lot when we're playing Fortnite. But like there is such thing as the old internet. And At Midnight was a great show for the old internet. It's not. We're not in that era anymore. No. And I think it comes off.
But at the same time, it's like they want to have that while still going to a tested comic. Like, they don't want to.
Yeah.
They want to TikTok it, but they don't want to TikTok it. It's okay. So last part of that question is.
Okay, and you're pulling a Cal here.
Well, I do have the keys.
Look at you bringing up quotes.
Yeah, right. It's like someone could do this while you're on Blathering. I don't know if you're comfortable answering this as a working comedian, but is there a comedian that you would like to see, or you're surprised didn't, like a Tina or somebody that was in that family, or are there people that you're like, they crush it on the desk, or they should now, someone who's out there?
Oh man, I don't know. There's so many, and there's comedy so splintered now. In its way, I've seen a lot that have tried. I've seen a lot of local shows. A lot of people do live talk show kind of shows here in LA at a theater, and they're all good. They're all good. I don't know. Conan, they're all unique. Conan's story is so unique. I see people talk about Craig Ferguson. I actually enjoyed Ferguson, and he was an actor. Really, it was like an actor doing something different. Corden was from the theater, all that stuff.
And I'm a Graham Norton fan.
Graham Norton is amazing, and he would. The problem is, if you were to package him up and make him the host of a U.S. late night talk show, I think you'd lose what he is. Right? He'd have to. He'd be like that great indie wrestler that gets into WWE during a certain era where you're like, well, now his name is Slap McDash and he's wearing shorts. Like, what's going on? Like,
he's a SWAT superhero.
Yeah. Why not call him Graham Norton? Yeah. And it's changed a little bit in WWE now, but yeah, he's wonderful. But yeah, the Carson and Letterman were broadcasters first, comedians second, and Leno was a comic and still is a comic first, host second. And I'm always going to gravitate to the broadcasters first, as I think you are. And there's probably some out there names I don't even know.
Or writers, there's that in between of like a comedian, yes, but who understands intimately behind the scenes, which is why I think I've always liked Conan and Colbert.
Yeah, Brian Ward says the next late night host will probably be Mr. Beast or something. And Brian, you've just painted the darkest timeline photo, but your picture. But you're right.
Maybe it'll be Ken now.
That was my dream. That was my high school graduation yearbook quote. Was Carson, Leno, Letterman, knapsack. Oops, I'm jumping to conclusions already. Like that was what I wanted, but what I wanted doesn't exist anymore.
Well,
It does exist.
and with that hopeful note, we'll pick that conversation up tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Anytime with him and me.
Anytime. We're going to be wrestling with Legacy. It's my birthday show. But yeah, watching the Steve Martin doc, parts 1 and 2, got me thinking about life and the universe and everything. So there we go. Tomorrow. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye. All right, we're having a lot of fun hanging out here. It's my birthday show, and I got till about 7 o'clock my time, and then I got to get back to work. So if you have a question for me, ask it here in chat. If you want to do a super chat so that I can at least acknowledge the question, but I still might ignore it legally, do so as well. Also appreciate Stream Elements tips, all those kind of wonderful things. But I'm also just happy you're all here hanging out on this edition of the Blathering Live, my birthday edition. Let's get to this call here right now. Love having him call in every week. He is such a nice soul. Brennan Marr, you're on the show. How you doing, man?
Hey, Ken. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you being here.
Getting to meet you in person was great.
That was, where was it, Anaheim? It was Anaheim, right?
Years ago.
Absolutely.
Got 2 years ago in Anaheim, yeah.
Crazy. Seems like just yesterday.
You and Joseph and Molly and...
That's right.
And why am I forgetting his name?
Alex.
Alex, there we go.
Absolutely, Mr. Damon. Alex
Sorry,
Damon.
Alex, if you're listening, I forgot your name.
Alex is not listening. He's out there having too much fun tonight.
It's Molly and that guy.
Molly and that guy, I think is how the channel should be actually rebranded.
And
Molly and that guy.
How awesome is Kingsport Cal?
Kingsport Cal is awesome. I love Tease and Cal, so I hope everyone gets what we're doing there. But Cal has long been one of my favorites, and he's a sincere, loyal dude, and I love him.
I say hi to Lauren in the chat. She was
Romo, yeah. The All Stars are here.
Dune.
Brian Ward's here. Everyone's here. Brennan. I was gonna ask you, what do you do? What's some of your favorite birthday celebrations?
Going to Outback and getting a bloomin' onion. That's my ideal birthday.
How often do you get out to Outback for that bloomin' onion?
Oh, probably twice a year or 3 times a year.
God bless you. Seriously, God bless you. That's amazing. What I find the bloomin' onion to be almost too much of a good thing. What draws you to it?
The fact that it is too much of a good thing. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. You like to run right at it.
Yeah. Also, I got to say to Alden, he's the only guy who's ever beat me in Star Wars trivia.
Alden beat you in Star Wars. Yeah. Twice. Steve in chat says yes. Time for food talk. Oh, we'll get to food talk.
Bloomin' onion, love it. I usually get their salmon, which is kind of interesting.
You see, it's kind of interesting. I love that when someone describes their own meal choices. I get this. It's kind of interesting. Salmon and the bloomin' onion together at last. I don't know about that.
I mean, they served it with some really nice sauce, so it's good stuff.
They do. Joey Beans is in chat, says, happy birthday, Ken. If 7-Eleven makes cake by the slice, I'll send you one. I think they do. I think there's a carrot cake option at my 7-Eleven in the little section that's like not behind doors where they keep the sandwiches and stuff. I'll check it out.
Looks like Kingsport Cal says he can make me a bloomin' onion.
Yeah, he was a cook at Texas Roadhouse for 8 years. I would love to have a homemade bloomin' onion. I bet it's so simple. I bet it's simple, but I'd mess it up somehow. I just got to say it was such a pleasure to meet you 2 years ago. As same.
And you've been kind enough to be on my podcast a few times.
Yeah, you're great.
And it just wanted to say happy birthday, and I hope that you enjoy another year wiser.
You know what, Brendan? I'll say this. I feel I've reached that age in that period of my life where I think I know less. I think I'm starting to realize, not that no one had it figured out, but that we're all still figuring it out. And that seems simple and direct. But as my own life kind of has its own bits of chaos and uncertainties and things that you thought were going to be secure in your life aren't, and all that kind of stuff. I am a new student of life at 48.
Yep, and I got one more year until the big 4-0.
Yeah, that's it's a big number, without a doubt. It's a big number, but you have
I
such a
decide what I want to do for my big 40.
well. I hope it's a bloomin' onion, Brennan. I hope there's I'll allow you to have a month celebration. We'll allow it. The courts will allow it.
If it's a bloomin' onion and going to Rancho Obi-Wan, that's good enough for me.
Oh, yeah. I've never been to Rancho Obi-Wan. I do want to go. Steve Sansweet seems like just the sweetest guy in the world. I know some people who know him, but that's impressive. Yeah, I'd love to get up there too.
It's funny that I'm 38 and I keep going, no, these kids are in my day. Yeah,
I think we all have that. I think that's part of getting older.
But yeah, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Well, Brennan, I appreciate that. I appreciate you being around all the time. You are a loyal listener and supporter, and you do it with all your heart. And I really appreciate your perspective on the world, like I've told you privately, and I'll tell you publicly. I think you present so much joy when it could be a tough thing to grab for all of us. So I appreciate you.
As you always say, I choose joy. I choose the light. That's what I do.
You got to go towards the light because the light is there. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you.
Anyhow, just wanted to say happy birthday, and I hope you enjoy your day.
I will. Thank you. We're going to do it. Appreciate it, Brendan.
Catch you later.
See you. Brendan Marr, check out his show, Page Turners. They were not. Brendan is the best, says Lauren Romo, and that is the truth. We can talk about food. We can talk about, no one wants to meet. I'm not going to go deep into politics today. But it's been a wild day up on the Hill. If anyone's watching what's going on with the Ukraine aid packages, the Israel aid packages, the Taiwan aid package, and then Mike Johnson possibly getting ousted. And for once, for 30 seconds, and I'll probably talk about this at any time a little bit more tomorrow. For about 30 seconds, I actually had a lot of, not even empathy. No, I have no empathy for Mike Johnson, but I actually agree with him wholeheartedly. So it's been an interesting day up there. Aaron Plays Poorly is watching in on Twitch. Happy early birthday, my friend. Hope you're having an amazing day tomorrow. You know what, Aaron? I am having an amazing day. I'm doing work. And that's the only way I know how to live. I'm starting. I'm starting to realize that I think and I'm not alone in this, where I'm one of those people that my identity isn't wrapped up in my work, but it feels like if I'm not working, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know who I am. So tomorrow I work. Ken Plume says, we need to talk. Fart Ken. I don't know what, I don't want to. Laserbolt with a super chat. I appreciate that. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Oh, this is a song. Happy birthday, dear Kenneth. Happy birthday to you. And you smell like one, too. Laserbolt. Thank you, that. And Laserbolt's a fellow Ken. We are Knuff. And I appreciate that. Ken's Unite. Plume and I were talking about this last night. Again, I'll bring up this comment from him. We need to talk fart. Plume and I were talking. We've lived our whole lives as Kens, and I don't feel that there's been a moment quite like the Barbie Ryan Gosling Ken moment in our Ken lifetimes, in our Ken lifetimes. And I don't know what to do with that because the momentum's running out. I think post Oscar performance from Gosling, which, by the way, I've watched about every 2 days. A lot of times when I just tune into YouTube, if I'm not watching news or a documentary, doing some research for the writing projects, or watching some ASMR, I'm putting on like a Paramore video, a Lady Gaga video, or Ryan Gosling at the Oscars videos. That's like most of my day. And today I watched a lot of Haim videos. I was working, I had some Haim videos playing in the background. Sir Benjamin says, I love Ken's chunky blue cheese. Wait, what? Yeah, Ken's there is Ken's dressing. That's a good Ken moment. But I just don't know what to do with the Ken momentum. We are Knuff, and we'll be Knuff forever. But I feel our name has never had this much currency, and the time is out. The time's running out. I feel sad that I didn't use that to the best of my ability. My Knuffness. I still haven't got one of those damn shirts. All right. We're here. It's the Blathering Live. It's my birthday show. I want to thank all of you who are hanging out with me here. This is the show in which we do just this. We hang out. We talk about anything you want to go. Our Mokentum. I like that. Our Mokentum. Laserwell says, I'm sad I just never dated a Barbie. I never had that opportunity. I knew a couple Barbies growing up. They were like my parents' friends, so that number one wasn't going to date them too. I was Kenny. It was a different time. But I've told the story before of my insurance agent in the early 2000s was a Barbie and went as Barbie. And that's the thing too. There's people still going as Ken. There's not a lot of Barbies. There is not a lot of Barbies out in the world. Maybe, that's a thought. Maybe the Barbie movie in the success, the worldwide success and pop, the popular the popularity of the Barbie movie. What am I saying? Will usher in a new era of Barbies in the world. That there'll actually be people named Barbie. Laserball says the jokes would have been too much, but that's the thing. I had this insurance agent of mine. I was in the office because back in the day you'd have to go into the office and they'd take pictures of your car and all that stuff and sign you up. And my name was Ken. Her name was Barbie. And I didn't make a joke. I didn't make a dad joke. I was just like, I made a comment that this was very rare that a Ken and Barbie in the same room. And she just wasn't having it. And I respect it. But it wasn't like I was making fun of it. I was like, this is awkward, right? This is weird. This is actually kind of a wonderful, rare occurrence, a Ken and Barbie in real life together. Maybe she misunderstood because she was younger too. She was around my age. Maybe she misunderstood it and thought I was trying to pick her up or something. And for that, I apologize retroactively. It's been about 20 years. 8984M says, people went by Barbie. Welcome to the Blathering Live, by the way. This is an AM talk show for a modern age. You got a question? You want to call in? You'll figure out how to do it. Yes. Yeah, it is a variation of Barbara, as people are pointing out. But yes, a lot of Barbies out there. A lot of Barbies. Like I said, it's definitely, I haven't seen a lot from like 1985 on. In fact, that one at the insurance company was the only one I know of. And then there was the WWE wrestler Kelly Kelly, who I believe her real name is Barbie Blank, I think. Is that her actual? I mean, even that might not be a real name. I'm going to type that up while we're talking. Yeah, that's to my knowledge. Barbara Jean Blank Koba is her real name. So Barbie Blank. Yep. There you go. That's the only other Barbie I know. It's the only one I know. We're talking Barbies. It's a birthday show. Aaron says, I went to school with a Barbie. She goes by Barb now. See? And then Barb from Stranger Things. And so when a name becomes popular in pop culture, I think it provides a level of comfort for those out there with that name and a level of confidence. Ken's not I wouldn't describe it as common. Now, someone will show the stats, but I think it's no coincidence that the Kens and Kenneths here in this chat are all of a certain age or higher, right? I don't find a lot of younger Kens. And this has been pointed out to me. There's been Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Ober. There's Kens. There's Kens out there, but not a lot of them younger Kens. I don't see a lot of 23-year-old Kens out there, and I'd like to. Aaron says, nope, you're the first Ken I know. See? Alan Smithy's here. Says, I prefer Babs. And Alan says, happy birthday to a fellow. 76, baby. Yeah. 76. Smithy, did you have my grandma, rest in peace, Grandma Gogo, she on the occasion of my birth in April of 1976 gave my mom a display of 1976 coins, the bicentennial coins. It was big. America turning 200, right? 1776, 1976. America turning 200 was a big thing. And I had these coins, and I think my mom still has them. Ken Jeong is a good, and he's great. Yeah, Ken Jeong is wonderful. So he's representing the Kens. Harrison Gibson says Harry Potter definitely made it easier for me to go Harry versus go by Harry versus Harrison. Oh yeah, but you know the thing is Harrison's such a great name. 898 for him says that a friend in high school named Kenneth and went by Ken. Yeah, there's the Kenneths. Joey Bean says I have a few Kens from my family but they go by Kenny. See, that's the Kenny's a choice. I had some Kennys in high school. I had a Kenny. He was on the baseball team that tracked. He was a good guy. Kennys. We're the last generation of Kens. I'd love to know, but I'd love to know the science on it, the stats on if the Barbie movie will change that, and if the Barbie movie will bring any Barbies in. Kenny Loggins counts. Absolutely, Kenny Loggins counts. And the thing too is, that's a good use of Kenny. That's the good. Now we're getting deep into issues here. That's a good use of Kenny, because Ken Loggins doesn't have a rhythm to it. It doesn't have a flow. Kenneth Loggins doesn't have a flow. Kenny Loggins, that flows, man. There's momentum behind that name. Kenny Knapsack, kind of, but it sounds comical. Kenny Plume does not sound good. Kenny Laserbolt does not sound good. Kenneth Plume sounds okay. Kenneth Plume sounds like he has a very wonderful, well-respected mid-level law firm or real estate office. Harrison says, it's true that I like my name, but it's a bit long, formal sounding. Harry is easy and friendly. Harry is friendly. Manda Oaks. Oh, you mean Mandy Oaks? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Harrison is Harrison definitely is. It has a formality to it. Harry's kind of an older classic name too, but I would think not a lot of people would be named Harry these days. But you have the options. Love this. We're getting to it. Rich T is here. What's up, Rich T? Today's my birthday. No, tomorrow is my birthday. But Rich T, happy belated birthday to you. Happy belated birthday to you. Your birthday was yesterday. Mine is tomorrow. I just figured since I'm doing anytime tomorrow and I'm doing I have a work meeting and some writing to do, why not do a live stream tonight? And the Blathering Live is weekly. I'm telling you, there's going to be a time. Get ready for this. There's going to be a time where you're going to blathering might be daily. I'm feeling the urge to blather more. And just talk about things, talk about the issues. I want to talk about David Grush. I want to talk about David Grush, the UFO whistleblower, who was revealed today in a Freedom of Information Act release that was obtained by the Black Vault, that David Grush has claimed that Arrow, the organization that kind of handles are they UFOs or balloons, that thing, the one that Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick resigned from because he was just exhausted by these UFO nuts. He claimed that they never contacted him. And today there's so much proof that they tried to contact him, including a meeting was set up and Grush left them in a lobby and would not meet with them. And he keeps saying, you don't have clearance. And they're like, we have clearance. Here's the clearance. Here's the paperwork. I really don't think, I think Grush might be sincere, but the grift is on for those around him. And I think that we could start to put that. You can start to put that to rest. All right. We talked about that. See, this is Erin, the author. Erin plays poorly as her Twitch username, but I know her often as Erin, the author, who's killing it with books these days. I might need a name to name a character in one of my books. Ken, do it. Trey T says I still trying to find people. I haven't found a bunch of trays. I think there's Treys out there. Aaron, do it. Name a character, Ken. I'm just Ken. Absolutely. And where Smithy said something up there. Oh, Tully Quinn says there's nothing worse than having Powers as the last name when Austin Powers movies were coming out. Absolute nightmare. That might be it. There it is. There's Al. Is it my destiny to live and die a life of blonde fragility? Feels like it. This is we're getting to my mom would be happy to get into the Ken conversations. And I don't even know why she named me Kenneth. I don't know where she settled on. I don't know. I would call her, but she would that would be the next 40 minutes. Great Scott asks, is it a syllable thing? Kenny Loggins. If first name is 2 syllables, it flows better than last name does too. Yeah, it does. Yeah, when you're making names, because I think I have a lot of experience on this. Rich T says, do it daily. I'll be here. We talk Star Wars, football. Next week is a draft. Should an NFL draft stream. I'm excited. I'm going to come back to Great Scott's comment, but I'm excited about the NFL draft this year. First time in years I've paid attention to the NFL draft. I've even paid attention to the WNBA draft because I watched the women's Final Four, the last 2 games, when I was in Boston. Ellis got me hooked. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I actually think Great Scott, you're right. It's a syllable thing. I have a lot of experience from naming players on Madden and MLB The Show, and you know when a name flows. You know when a name Harrison Gibson. That's a great name. Kenny Loggins. It's a great name. Or you go shorter. My buddy Ken Plume. Ken Plume's a great name. Ken Plume. Boom. In fact, I rarely hear him referred to as just Ken. Now, that might be because I'm a Ken, and people want to make sure they know they're not talking about me to me. But they'll be like, oh, yeah, you know Ken Plume, right? But, like, we have a friend, Hal. Oh, you know, Hal is different than, oh, you know Ken Plume. It's one word. It's a syllable thing. We're getting to the real stuff here. Better Austin Powers than Kenny Powers. That's. Oh, yeah, the South Park of it all. Steve points out, you killed Ken, you bastard. Doesn't hit the same. Yeah, you killed Kenny. That a little bit of a resurgence in not Kenny's, but it was Ken, and not Ken, it was Kenny. So that when it first showed up, it was the thing. Aaron, Rich T says, name a character Ken, but spell it like Ken. Pronounce it like Ken, and how people pronounce Graham like Graham. I love that. I support that. Steve has science behind his thought here. His wife is a school teacher, and we aren't making Ashley's, Stephanie's, Steve's, Ken's anymore. That's weird to hear that Ashley's and Stephanie's are down. Steve's and Ken's I get. I would think Ashley's and Stephanie's are down, but now it's probably some different kind of name. I know an Ashley or two. I know a Stephanie or two. Definitely has 80s, early 90s vibes, though. That I'd agree. Super chat coming in from our pal, Kingsport Cal. What's up? Wit, 20 minutes of coffee. Unexpected hiatus. Every now and then I have the unexpected hiatuses. And what ended up happening is... no real big drama behind it, Cal. I'll be back. I'm doing the show here. I will do. My goal is to do 20 minutes of coffee like on Tuesdays. If we're gonna do the Blathering on Thursday, because I don't want to bore you guys. But just this week, I have this new job, part-time job working for a YouTube channel. And it's one of those things where, like, I'm okay. My schedule's pretty open. Next thing you know, I have to write for 10 hours. And it's like, it kind of comes and goes. So you have to go. 8984M says, I think Steph's becoming a more common shortening due to a b-ball player. Oh, okay. Thanks for hanging out. This is the mouth has stopped working. A great thing for a broadcaster. The mouth has just stopped working. Thanks for hanging out with me on my birthday show. We got about 20 more minutes or so left. If you'd like to reach out with a question. If you'd like to call, don't forget, you can call into the show by becoming a channel member. Once you do that, there's a post I put up every week that has the link in. And then on my Patreon page, I do it, except for this week. I only put it in the Discord, and I didn't realize till I started the show. That's okay. That's fine. All of you are calling in here. Get in here and get on there. We've got to get Laserbolt on the show here. Laserbolt's got to call in. I have so many Microsoft Flight Simulator questions. I have so many drone questions. I kind of wish I had a drone, but I don't want the responsibility. In LA, there's a lot of restrictions on where you can fly the drones, as there should be. But that intimidates me. But my pal Mark Riley's had a few drones. He's crashed a lot of drones, to be fair. But he never crashed one into his own face. And we do know someone who crashed a drone into their own face. Mark Riley and I do. But we shot something once. We went up to the Hollywood Hills by the Hollywood sign, and during the GPA days, and we're going to shoot something. And we ended up never airing the thing we shot, but it didn't matter. Flying the drone and watching him fly the drone, I should say, was really fun. It was meditative. It was addictive. I like maps. So it's like having your own personal map. So, one day. There you go. If you got any questions, post them here. Super Chats means I will acknowledge the question, but it doesn't mean legally I have to answer. This question came up early in the show. Dylan Berry says, best non-chain burger in LA. That's tough to say because the choice I would have said recently got one of my friends sick. There's a Jack's hamburger stand in the Studio City area. It's great, and it is made on a grill that's dirty and experienced, and it's a great hangover burger. It's a great it's Sunday afternoon at 2. What am I going to do? Let's get a burger. It's that. But the burger didn't get my friend sick, but something else on the menu did. So I'm wary of the place now. But it's a damn good burger. It's damn good. Other than that, as far as like restaurants and stuff, I don't really know. Most of my burgers these days are from Veggie Grill, which are vegan, and they're good, but they're not as good as a grilled charred burger at a hamburger stand. You have your favorite local burger spots. Share them here in chat. Kingsport Cal says, Ken, 2 words. Moonshine pickles. Thoughts? I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Cal. And I'm not going to let you call back to explain it. I don't think I want to explain it. But is it alcoholic pickles? Do you put the pickles in, like, instead of a brine, like a whiskey? Like a bourbon? Like, tell me. Because I'll have them. If you're talking about alcohol-infused pickles, yes. One of my favorite things, and I think I'm going to have it on May 3rd, and you're like, wow, Ken, have you scheduled your next dessert? Kind of. There's a restaurant in L.A. that has, and I know it's not exclusive to this restaurant, but there's a restaurant in L.A. that has spiked milkshakes. And there's a banana split milkshake. It's got rum in it. It's so good. It's so good. And it's near a famous theater in L.A., and I'll be at that theater on May 3rd watching The Phantom Menace, and I'm going to get one of those. Kingsport Cal says it. Yeah, moonshine. Yeah, moonshine. I got it. I know what moonshine is. Alcoholic pickles. Alan Smithy says pickle and moonshine. There you go. John Mariano's still here. What's John Mariano doing? It's late over there. There are levels of... Okay, you know what, John? Stand by for an email here. I want to talk about this. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm having fun hanging out here. Okay. I'm getting an offer on Twitch. Love it. Let's read this. Hello. Sorry for bothering you. I want to offer a promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, chatbots, etc. The price is lower than a competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Flexible and convenient under management panel, chat panel, everything is in your hands. A huge number of customer settings. Go to Streamrise. All right. I'll check that out later. Thanks. We're going to talk hamburgers, but I'm going to wait till Mariano. I just emailed you, Mariano. Put the kids to bed. Come on the show. We're going to talk about levels of burgers: fast food style burger, slow food style burger, and gourmet burger. That's fantastic. I want to talk about that. All right. Yeah, that is what we're going to do. All right. Oh, here he is. Welcome to the show. The one and only Johnny M from Long Island. Let's talk burgers, buddy.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. I almost said you too, but that's a Brian Regan bit. And
well played. First time caller, last time listener.
Fair. After that Cal call, I understand.
That look, that was some great radio. You got to get him on.
Cal's the best. I'll take him every week.
I was gonna say like twice a year, but like your call.
That's fair. You hear that, Cal? Johnny M says twice a year.
I love in the door, Cal. That was you working through that call with some of the best radio in a while, just in general.
But that's what we're doing, live calls. If you listen later on the podcast, if you watch later on YouTube, get in here, call in. None of you need to be shy. If Johnny M can call in, I've seen him in person. He's shy.
I have a face for radio.
No, you're a good-looking, esteemed man. Let's talk some burgers. I like your thoughts here. You're a good griller too. You cook your own burgers a lot, right?
Oh yeah, all the time. I like my favorite burgers are grilled burgers at home, whether I'm doing it or someone else is doing it. Fresh off the fire is the way to go.
I love that. That's a good name of a restaurant. Fresh off the fire.
Oh, we should consider that. Maybe that's our retirement plan, Ken.
You know what? You and I are doing things wrong. We should just get a food truck and drive around the country called Fresh Off the Fire.
Oh, I'm all about that. Let's do that.
Yeah. Grace won't mind. Wait. Aaron, the author, totally stealing that from my food truck book. Aaron, you got to tell us about your food truck book. I want to know more about that. That's fantastic. All right, Johnny, I cut you off. Talk burgers. You grill them.
No. I mean, you cut me off for Aaron, and that's more than welcome.
Absolutely. Have you ever met Aaron? Have you ever met Aaron in person at an event or anything, Schmodown event or anything like that?
I've met Aaron through, I guess, video call.
Got it. Yes.
We would call it. Yeah. Whatever we call this line of communication.
Real life.
Oh, all right. I mean, that's your call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grill me.
Back to the burgers. I think it's a very serious question because when people ask me like, "Hey, I want burgers," it's well, what kind do you want, right? Like, and it's not what's your favorite spot because sometimes you want a good greasy fast food style burger. Here on Long Island, we have a good standalone place. I'm sure Jen Morrow knows about it. It's called All American Burger in Massapequa.
Okay.
And it's just a standalone shop, but like you get fresh beef cooked, I would say McDonald's style or something.
Thank God.
Right. And then you're about a mile from the beach. You go sit outside by your car, and you can kind of smell the ocean in the air.
I thought you were going to say you kind of smell the ocean in the burger, but okay.
Well, I mean that too. No, but the burgers are just fantastic, guilty pleasures.
Okay,
right.
All American. I'll ask her about that. I'm gonna see her tomorrow night. I'm gonna ask her. All American Burger in Massapequa. I can't even say that right.
Massapequa, you nailed it.
Massapequa.
You're native Long Islander already.
Okay.
Then we have a place out by me in Port Jefferson that's called Gourmet Burger, and they make a really good high-end fancy schmancy burger.
Okay.
And you get, depending on what you order, you get all the kinds of fancy toppings that you would normally get, right? And it's very dressed up, but the meat's also really high quality too. So if you're in the mood for that, there's that level. Sometimes you just want a good late night diner burger.
I agree with that.
Right.
Okay. Couple more. I want to get some direct. I have some grilling questions for you.
Oh, now
like what makes it? See, when I'm sitting around and I'm like, look, I want a burger. I think of a burger that fits in my hands, but is not completely engulfed by my hands. Giggity. And the cheese is melted. There's a lot on it. I like onions. I like pickles. I like a lot of toppings. Someone brought up the question of an egg. We'll get to more detail of that. I do like an egg burger, but I like it in my hand, but I like it squishy. And I don't like going to these restaurants. Like Ellis and I were in Boston, and it was the first night we were there, second night in town, whatever. It was rainy. It was sideways rain. It was cold. And we're walking around the North End, and we wanted to find some food. And we both were craving like a burger. And there was like a Gordon Ramsay. And God bless Gordon Ramsay in his career. But we're like, we're not going there. That's like $40 for a burger that's stacked too high, that you can't eat easily. We found a pub, the Bell in the Hand pub. It was great. And I got the burger I wanted. You know what I mean, though, John, with that burger?
Yeah.
You could make me one of those.
Oh, absolutely. And it all starts with the meat. You gotta go. Like I go to the butcher down the block, and you get the nice mix. You know, some people like a leaner burger. I like a burger that has a little bit of fat in it that'll melt a little bit as you cook it. So you're not eating the fat, but the fat like cooks into the meat and flavors the meat as you go. Got it.
I like that.
And I think you got to go high heat on the burger. You know, if I'm making the steak, I'll do some direct heat and I'll do some indirect heat to get the steak going.
Explain the concept. I get it. I haven't cooked meat in a while. Again, giggity. But what you're putting it on the side of the grill?
Right. So you'll have half your grill heated, half your grill not. And what you'll do is you turn your grill into an oven. So you'll close the grill and put it on the cold side of your grill, but the heat from inside cooks it through.
Yeah. Trey T says fat is flavor, making me one of the most flavorful human beings.
I mean, I feel like this is one of the places I top you in, is I might be more flavorful than you, buddy.
I have been in the gym for the last 6 days.
Yeah.
And I feel terrible. But yeah.
But you look marvelous, to quote Billy Crystal.
Thank you. Marvelous. All right. Yeah, you're making me hungry. And I already had I'm not eating the rest of the night. So what is too much in terms of toppings? Hey, Pablo. Let me check. Pablo, check it in. Happy birthday, Ken. Hope it's a great one. It is a great one. Pablo, one of the first regular listeners in my life back in the Jedi Alliance days when he was Pablo from Mexico. But he is not Pablo from Mexico now. He is a well-traveled man going all around the world. So, Pablo, good to see you here. All right. Johnny, is there too many toppings on a burger? Let's get to the egg question. Let's get to the egg question. Is that too much?
No. The egg is the perfect topping for a burger.
Right?
Because the egg, especially if you get a fried egg and then you pop it and some of the yolk drizzles down, it's like the perfect messy topping for a burger.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't think there are too many toppings. I know you can absolutely go crazy, but like it depends on how messy you want to be. Right?
You're messy and pretentious. I don't mind a pretentious take on the burger. I really don't. I really don't mind the pretentious take on the burger. But like a buffalo burger, I don't mind that. But when I want that burger, I don't want the pretension. I want the mess.
Okay, here's a question. Let's go down a different avenue.
Okay.
How do you feel about these places that put meat on a burger? And I mean, like you have a burger, and then that's like a pulled pork burger on top of the meat of a burger.
So you got a patty of meat, and then you got pulled pork on top of it.
Correct.
Too much.
Right.
Too much. There is, Mark Ellis and I are very open about our love of Wood Ranch. We go to the one in Burbank a lot, and they have an item on there. I don't know, maybe they took it off. It was called like the Everything Burger, and it had the meat, it had pulled pork, it had tri-tip, it had kielbasa. It is aggressive and it is full of hubris. It's too much.
Yeah, it stops being a burger at some point. I agree.
It becomes a statement, and I don't want a statement. I want a burger.
Now, how do you feel about these places that will treat the burger as like a steak, where they'll give it to you off the bun or like deconstructed on the side, and you're expected to eat the burger with a fork and knife?
I'm okay with that. You know why I'm okay with that? I'll tell you why. Because I often end up, by the end, if I'm at a restaurant, I'll end up eating the burger with a fork and knife, or at least just a fork. I usually I get full, I'll take half the bun off, and I just poke at it like it's a meat steak, which is steak, but you know what I mean, like a burger steak.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
But you've also been with me, like that night in D.C. with Eddie Harrell and Ellison when we got those burgers at that restaurant. Like there wasn't a utensil in sight. There was barely napkins in sight.
Oh yeah. One last question for you, because this is
okay, Johnny.
This is my pet peeve. I'm not gonna ask 50 more questions. I got this one last one. These places that stamp the burger with their logo and stamp the meat with their burger, or even stamp the bread with their logo. What are your feelings on that? Because I feel like that's a level of pretentiousness I'm just not ready for.
It's a little pretentious. It's branding. I can get behind it. It might be kitschy depending on where you're at. Like, I don't know. Maybe I want to eat a, whatever burger. But I could do without. Again, like it's to Dylan Berry's question of the off-brand. Like, you know me, I love a Double Del cheeseburger. I love a fast food burger. I love a chain restaurant. I love a diner. But I love going to a Jack's hamburger stand on the side of the road and just taking my chances with what he serves up. And there's no pretension there. There's just food.
Okay. But one more question, Ken.
Okay, Cal. I mean, Johnny. I'm kidding.
We haven't hit the White Castle burgers. Where do you sit on White Castle?
Don't like them. But I also didn't grow up. I'm going to shout out Aaron says I'm basic. I like lettuce, tomato, onion, a little mayo, no pickles, mustard, occasional mashed avocado is fine. Ooh, the pretension comes rolling in there, Aaron. But here's the thing. White Castle's an East Coast thing, or at least a Midwest East Coast thing, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't get to experience them until I was in East Tennessee. And by then, that's 2007, 2008, 9. I had been alive enough to know, I even think the movie had come out, where it was like, the hype. And I know the whole brand is their shitty burgers.
Yeah.
So once I finally got to them, we did pull over. My girlfriend at the time did go to a White Castle. It's some weird spot too. It was some weird spot off the
they
40
are.
freeway. Yeah, and it was okay.
So were you in an altered state when you had it, or were you sober?
No, we were sober. It was driving. It was like 2:00. It was connected.
That was your problem.
I'll tell you what, even more. It was connected to we pulled over for gas. And it was connected to a gas station, but it was the type of gas station. This was 2008. It had pumps from 1982. You know those old gas station pumps? Yeah. So that's the kind of spot we went to.
Well, no, that's fair. That's usually where they're located, in locations like that.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Yes. Harrison agrees with you. Harrison Gibson says they are always in weird places.
Yeah. And that's the one thing the movie gets right is whether they were smoking up or whether they were drunk or whatever. Like, that's the only way to have a White Castle and the only way you're going to enjoy it.
Johnny, stay on for a second here. I know you're getting ready to go there. A couple things. This is why, look, I love talking serious stuff. I love talking politics now more than I ever. Shout out to Jasmine Crockett, who's been on fire up on the Hill today. Just handing it to the Republicans. I love talking serious stuff. A lot of serious stuff in the world. But I also love talking about this stuff, Johnny. You know me. Because we really get to some important issues. And I just love rolling my hands up into this. Tully Quinn says this. Tully said it a few times in chat. Reject smash burgers before it's too late. I finally tried smash burger about 1.5 years ago. Met Winston Marshall for lunch, who's a great cat. And it was okay. Like, it was perhaps overhyped, and it was definitely expensive. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. So I agree with that. But also, Steve brings up this. He brings up 2 quotes, 2 comments. If you have to cut the burger, it's too tall. Too much of a good thing, and it's a real problem. I agree with that. But when I think Steve understands. When I say I go to knife and fork, it isn't the size of the burger. It's just like it's the end of the burger for me, and I'm going to cut it out. But Steve brings up this quote, this comment. Also, bun integrity is one of the most overlooked aspects of burgerdom. I cannot I cannot stress enough that Steve is right about this. I had a great tasting veggie grill burger, and I'm not going to get into the debate of vegan burger versus non-vegan burger. It's not about that. It's a great tasting burger for me, and it's a burger. Johnny, I got the double meat, double cheese. I picked it up out of the wrapper, went to take the first bite, and it was as if I squeezed it and popped a pizza roll. And the meat, the cheese, everything came flying out at me. The bun was not strong enough to hold what they offered. I was so upset. The bun integrity is key. What say you?
It's the delivery system. It matters, right?
It matters.
I ordered. I'm not going to throw the company under the bus, but I ordered a new blanket that came through the mail through a very common company, and the box integrity was compromised on the way here, and now that's a blanket. I had to wash anyway, but I have to really wash thoroughly now.
Right.
And to your point, the delivery system matters, right? Your vegan burger, which is a burger, and I'm the biggest meat eater, but that's a burger. If that bun is compromising what's inside, it spoils everything.
Yeah. LQ says sometimes a diner burger hits just right. LQ, you're speaking the truth. You're preaching the truth. You're preaching gospel there, LQ. Yeah, but I was so upset. And then there's the times where the bun seems to almost melt and rip apart and vanish on you. It's you're forcing me to knife and fork at this point.
But it can also go the other way, Ken. So we're talking about like crappy buns. But what if your bun has either too much integrity or there's just too much bun to burger ratio?
You're right. But I love that you phrased it as, what if your bun has too many morals? Its integrity is too strong. I agree with you. Yes, there's too much of a good thing. And that's a lot of those fancy restaurants. My friend Jeff May, who did have to leave chat, but on our podcast that's going to come out next week for the public, it's on his Patreon page now, he has a strong stance against brioche buns. He thinks brioche buns are absolutely overrated. And I love the taste of them. I love brioche buns, but I kind of tend to agree with them. They're too much.
I like a brioche bun for like a roast beef sandwich or something of a different quality meat. It's not for a burger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aaron agrees as well. I love it. Alan Smith, he says, can I eat a burger that doesn't have great buns? Those buns have to be solid. I'm just as into buns, and I am the meat between them. Alan, it's my birthday, and I agree with you. That's why I put that comment up there. Giggity. Tully, pretzel buns. I like pretzel buns, but they're odd. They overwhelm at times. I agree with that, Tully. I do. But my favorite are Hawaiian buns. And again, when you take this out of context, it sounds terrible. But I really do like King's Hawaiian. Ikaika, shout out to Ikaika from the GPA days. He and I still stay in contact. He turned me on to everything. I've always loved Hawaiian buns, but he turned me on to them for almost anything. I just absolutely love the taste.
Yeah. They wouldn't be my go-to, but they wouldn't sour the burger for me either.
Love that. Michael McCarsel's here, says, woo, we're still going. Yeah, you know what? I was going to wrap up here. I'll go for about another 5-10 minutes if you guys have questions. Johnny, I'm going to let you go, though. It was a great conversation. You're the best. I'm sorry I'm not going to be out in New York in May. That plans kind of changed, but soon I'll be out, and we'll see you again, huh?
I'll stalk you on the East Coast, buddy. Happy birthday.
Love it. Thank you, my friend. Bye. All right. We're here for a few more minutes. I love hanging out with all of you here. Call in. Are you a channel member? You can get to the post right here, right now. Get the StreamYard link to this here studio, and we'll take your audio call. I will see you on the back end, but it's an audio call. Unless you're Alden, because he could just bring himself on the camera. And then if you're a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/catnapsock, you can get into my Discord, where in the Blathering section is the link for the night's show. All right. You guys are talking buns. I love it. Ranger Donald brings up something that was a joke in a script I wrote years ago, co-wrote with Matt Key, Matt Mercer, and Jack Conway, and then later on Jen Morrow. Ranger Donald says, like the double down from KFC. The double down, if you're all not familiar with the double down, it was proof that God has turned their back on us. KFC, and I do like their chicken sandwiches, by the way, and their mashed potato balls. KFC offered basically like a chicken sandwich where the bun was like chicken. No bread needed, just meat on meat on meat. And I think that was a sign. I think it was a sign of America's gone too far. What have we done? What have we done? And in the script that we wrote years ago, it was a big punchline in our pilot script. So I loved it. But Ranger Donald loves it. The best and my favorite sandwich ever made. Triple chicken, says Harrison. But Ranger Donald, I can believe that. I can believe that, Ranger Donald. Ranger Donald, by the way, I want to publicly apologize to Ranger Donald. He sent me an invite to play Fortnite with him the other day, but I was literally finishing up a game and signing off. And Ranger, I apologize. We'll play again. The airbending is like boats. You got to agree with that. Pizza calzone between other pizza. That's what you got to do here. We're almost done here. Laserbolt has a question. If you got a question, ask it. You don't have to call in. Ask it. Post it here. If you want me to at least acknowledge it, if it's a spicier question, a super chat will make that happen. Doesn't mean I have to answer every question, but I will acknowledge it and maybe tell you why I'm not going to answer it. Laserbolt says this. Are you planning to watch Fallout? I think you'll like it, being a video game guy myself. Ken Plume just texted me. Says, Bojangles just introduced the bird dog. God, that looks graphic. Got some more questions coming in. I am not planning to watch Fallout. I do enjoy Walton Goggins, so maybe I will. I hear great things about it. Everyone seems to be loving the show. I did not play the game, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy it. I am, probably not Laserbolt. But I think there's two shows that are in the hopper for Grace and I to watch, and that is Baby Reindeer. I think that's the name of it. Ellis told me to watch it. And Shogun. I've been waiting to... I know Shogun's been out for a bit on Hulu and Disney+. I read the book. I read Shogun in high school. Grew up with the specter of the miniseries with Richard Chamberlain over my head. One of the first big pop culture moments I remember as a kid. So I wanted to watch this new take on it, which I hear great things about. But life got busy. So that's on my list. Baby Reindeer's on my list. And maybe. Again, I'm a big fan of Walton Goggins. So you have me at that. I'm looking forward to Baby Billy and the next season of Righteous Gemstones. One of my favorite shows. So there you go. Oh, I want to shout out Hugo. Where was your comment, Hugo? You had a great comment, and we were so busy talking about burgers. I'm going to scroll up and get it. There you go. Hugo just became a channel member, and I appreciate that. Respect that. Says, from one Aries Gen Xer to another, born April 1975. Just want to wish you a very happy birthday, Ken. Absolutely love your approach to discussing Star Wars and the hilarity you bring to other topics. You know what, Hugo? I really appreciate that. Appreciate you being around these parts. And there you go. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. Ken Plume. See, you have to call him Ken Plume. Second on Fallout. Yeah. Again, I'm not saying I wouldn't enjoy it. I'm just not familiar with it. All right, we got a question about The Simpsons. Nick checking in. On Facebook. Nick's watching on Facebook. Is that a Yankee uniform on you, Nick, in that profile picture? That's amazing. Asks if I still talk to Christian Harloff and says, love you, Ken. You're a good dude. Been a fan since College General Council when I first saw you. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I don't talk to I don't talk to Harloff as much anymore. We had a great lunch about 6 weeks ago. He reached out to me after he heard I was a little down and out, and life just took us apart a little bit. He's also planning to leave the state. I think he's made that public. So, oops. I think that's public. Yeah. And we have a long history and a lot of love between us. And we had a great lunch about 6 weeks ago or so. Met him for some sushi. He loves sushi. He's always loved sushi. And so we did catch up. And I'm gonna see him before he leaves. And when I'm in New York, I will always take a chance to see him. So yeah, absolutely. Kingsport Cal gifted a membership. Oh, that's wonderful. And Nick follows up. Yes, Yankee fan all day. Follow you on Facebook. Russian born, but New York raised. Ah, yes. Love that. I'm glad I'm American born, but I wish I was Kiev born. I wish, my Ukrainian heritage is strong. And I think Russians and Ukrainians can find a way. We, the people, can find a way to get together, right? Not the governments. Though I like the Ukrainian government, at least the president, but not the Russian. You know what I mean? All right, now we're getting into geopolitical politics. Wasted. Dave's already a member. Well, you're doing the good work. Steve follows up on the Double Down. Double Down was one of those moments in time where if you could ask God anything, I might have pointed to that and said, why? Love it. Life is Alec checking in on Twitch. I love you all hanging out on Twitch. We do broadcast in 3 spots right now, and I apologize over on Twitch. I gotta get. We can drop the link to call in over there soon enough. I'm trying to figure that out. Alex has just been listening to a bunch of old TNF episodes this week. Oh, you're the one. Thank you for being one of those quote candles in the way down darkness, as John Green would say. Your podcast feed has made a lot of tough nights a little bit easier over the years. Man, I appreciate. I accept the kind words. It's very hard sometimes for me to accept kind words about me, but Alec, I really appreciate it, and it means a lot. And I love that you're going to listen to the old episodes. I don't even listen to the old episodes, but I appreciate them. And I put this up on the feed, and we're not done. We're doing other things on that feed. Nick follows up. Russian-born, served U.S. military. Wanted to give back to the country that gave me the opportunity to chase my dreams. What do you normally stream on? Nick, I stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. YouTube's the main one where I stream on. Then I put this up on the podcast. But I was streaming video games on Twitch for a long time and enjoyed it. Then I started streaming video games on YouTube, and there was a little joy started to get taken out of me about playing video games on online. Had great time, great fun doing it, but I just wanted to. That's how I relax. So I didn't want to make it content anymore. But yeah, we're streaming all kinds of things on there. Yeah, Nick, that's great, man. I love that. Russian-born, served in the U.S. military. That's my dad. My dad was technically Austrian-born. Graz, Austria is my dad's place of birth, but raised here in the States and went into the Navy during that time. Oh, look at that. Oh, look who we got checking in on Twitch. Oh, look at this. Maud Garrett's here. Maud Garrett, how are you? It's my birthday. It's my birthday tomorrow. I'm streaming tonight because I'm working tomorrow. Looks like Maud brought some friends. My Jedi Council co-host. I still to this day look back with so much fondness on my time with Maud Garrett. Even though I could never say her name to the 100% degree accuracy. Yeah, we had a lot of fun back in the day. And one of the only, in fact, I'll tell you, the birthday shirt that Maud Garrett got me in 2014, which is a little X-Wing design that's like the VFX design before they VFX the X-Wings up. It's one of the only Star Wars shirts I have left. I got rid of pretty much all my Star Wars shirts that weren't designed by Brian Ward, but Maud Garrett's gift was the last one. Star pause indeed. You got a question? You got a trivia question? Check out Maud Garrett's channel too, by the way. If you're listening to me and the internet gets so fractured. What type of, oh my God, Maud's asking me, what type of dog was the inspiration for Chewbacca, according to George Lucas? Alaskan Malamute? Alaskan Malamute. That's it, right? It's got to be it. Got to be it. It's got to be the one. I think I got it. But I'll tell you why I got it. Maud, I'll tell you why I got it. I didn't get it because I'm unstoppable, like you're saying here. I got it because I just was recently rewatching like Empire of Dreams. And I think that comes up. One of those Star Wars docs. I just had it on while I was on the treadmill. I want to shout out Maud Garrett because life takes all. I think the last time I saw Maud in person was a movie premiere of some kind, like Solo or something like that. It's been far too fucking long. And I hate that this town does, where we're all over here. The internet is so goddamn fractured. And you can lose track of people. And I'm talking about you, the viewers. Check out Maud's work with Maud's Book Club. I love that Maud is one of the best interviewers, one of the best clip interviewers, red carpet interviewers, but she's always been just this wonderful, multi-talented, multimedia person. But I love that Maud has focused on something she loves, books, and turned it into her online and her presence in her show. So check out Maud's stuff, and I appreciate you being here. Look at this. We just did Artemis. Am I saying that like a rube? By Andy Weir. I'm interviewing tomorrow. He wrote The Martian. Oh, I'm familiar with that. I used to read books. I used to be smart. Yeah, check out her stuff. I love seeing it. Maud, I'm watching you from afar. That sounds scandalous. I'm watching you, but I love seeing the work you've done. We almost crossed paths. Artemis. Okay, there it is. Maud and I was working for a channel last year. I'll just say it, New Rockstars. I was working for New Rockstars behind the scenes, and they were going to do they did an Ahsoka show, and they wanted me on it, and then Maud was going to be on it, and it was going to be this Jedi Council reunion. But it was the strikes, and Force Center was shut down. I am SAG eligible. I didn't want to do it. There was the reporting angle, folks like Maud and Ash and everyone that's their job to cover it. So there was no foul on that end. To be clear, I want to be clear about that. But I just was in a spot where I wasn't going to cover Star Wars during that time, and we were this close to having a Jedi Alliance reunion. This close to having a Jedi Alliance reunion. Maybe so. One day we'll do it. Maud, when you review political books on your channel, like The Storm is Here, the story of the March to January 6th, let me know because I can come on and talk about it. It was fun. 2024. Thank you all, and thank you for the raid too, by the way. I appreciate that. If you're just joining me and you don't know who the hell I am, and Maud was like, let's go watch this crazy dude drinking from a Game of Thrones. It's my birthday, but this is a Blathering Live. I'm Ken Knapsack. This here is like an AM radio talk show from yesteryear for a modern age. I take live calls from the audience. And Maud's, thank you. Happy birthday. Maud's got a scoot. Maud Garrett's the person that taught me that if you're smashing Mackers in a car, it doesn't mean what you want it to mean. It means what you need it to mean. It's about McDonald's, and I appreciate that. Happy birthday, she says. I appreciate that. Thank you, Maud. Bye. But anyways, for those who are on the raid, hi. Thanks for swinging by here on Twitch. I'm also on YouTube and Facebook. This is a live call-in show, too. If you're out there, I'm extending the time here. I got about 5 more minutes on the show. If anyone out there is a channel member or a Patreon member, you want to call in, now is the time. Cal, put your phone down. Put your phone down. We're having a lot of fun. There you go. Jared says this. Ken and Ken watch DS9. Jared every week gives a super chat. And he also gave this super chat. Just got home from work. Happy level up day. I appreciate that. I don't know. I'm going to watch Shogun and Baby Reindeer first before I do that. Okay. Jared also asks this question: NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? I think Backstreet Boys. Well, let me make sure on this. Let me make sure on this here. Hold on here, okay? This is what we're doing here. We're gonna figure this out right here, right now. Okay. All right. Hold on. There we go. Sure. Okay. We are on NSYNC. So so that's the Timberlake group. All right, then maybe it's so NSYNC is Justin Timberlake, JC Chazez, Joey Fatone, Lance Bass. Where's he go by bass? He's Lance Bass. And then my friend is Eric Bass from Shinedown, and Chris Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick's kind of the forgotten one, right? All of them have gone on to other. What's Chris Kirkpatrick doing these days? And then Backstreet Boys. Backstreet's back. All right. See, I know that. Nick Carter, the Carter families, got some issues. Howie Dorough, AJ McClain, Brian Littrell, Kevin Richardson. I'm NSYNC. I'm an NSYNCer, and I'll tell you why. It isn't about the music, and it isn't about Timberlake. I think Timberlake's talented, but I give or take him. And I'm Team Britney. I'll just say it. I'm Team Britney. But Joey Fatone, I like who Joey Fatone has become. He was a singer, he's a dancer, he was a showman, he's been an actor. He now has like a burger joint. I just saw him on Guy Fieri's Diners, Dive-Ins, and Drives when Mark Ellis and I were in Boston doing our comedy shows about 2 weeks ago. Mark was handling some business. We shared a hotel suite this time out. I was in the common area, and Mark was handling some business in his room, and he comes out. And by the way, it sounds like a euphemism. He was actually handling some business for his career in his room, and he came out, and I'm just like, I was watching Diners, Dive-Ins, and Drives, and Joey Fatone was on it. And there was just something about that dude. I was like, I want to have a burger and a drink with that dude. So you know what? That's the answer. The answer's in sync. Great question. There you go. Jared says, I met Joey at a horror con. He was really nice. He just seems like a nice dude. Right? Ken, how do those Boston shows go? 2 shows. Mark Ellis and I were on Justine Marino's show at Laugh Boston. Justine is great. I've known Justine Marino since 2007 range or so. And she just has continued to be just get better and better at the comic. She's so effing good, and she did some wonderful, really personal things. She did this like slideshow thing that is absolutely was absolutely in love with it as a bit. Justine's just the best, and she was the headliner, and Ellis featured. I hosted it, and we had a lot of fun. It was a very rainy, cold night, sideways rain in Boston. Wind blowing us to and fro. Our Uber driver was so nice. His name was Felix. Shout out to Felix. I don't think Felix took our names. I think he follows us on Instagram, so I don't think Felix is watching right now. But he was such a sweetheart. But he got lost, and we almost missed the show, the start of the show. And I was the host, so I had to be on stage at 8:00, and he missed the show. He missed 5 exits, and we almost missed the show. But yeah. Aaron says Joey Fedotto is a hot dog restaurant. Yeah, okay, that tracks. I think that's what I was watching. There you go. But Aaron's very disappointed. She wanted me to be a Backstreet Boy fan. I apologize for that. I don't, it's not about the music. I have no problem with the different kind of styles of music. I'm a pop and rocker. I can do it all. But, there you go. Anyways, and the second show, the theater show at the Rockwell, was wonderful. Great crowd. Mark headlined. We had some guest comics pop on, and just absolutely great time. And I did a bit that I've been wanting to do. I thought about it about 2 or 3 years ago. I was a chicken shit. I didn't do it. And it's a little bit of an outside the box bit. It's just not a normal stand-up bit or joke. It's a little genre bending. And about 2-3 years ago, I thought about it on the way down to La Jolla. Was doing a weekend with Mark at La Jolla outside San Diego, and I chickened out. I didn't do it. And then I actually was like, I'm going to do the bit. And I wrote it down, and it involves me reading something off of paper. And I had the paper in my back pocket on a Jake Lewis show about a year ago, and I chickened out. And I didn't do it. And I did it in Boston, and it killed, and I love it. So it was a good show. Yeah, it was a good show. All right. We're about out of here. I do have to get going, but let's check some of the questions here that are left. We got that from Jared. Oh, Rich T had this question. It's his favorite Simpsons episode. Do you watch the new ones? I actually started to. I don't think it's weird because in this internet age, a lot of you have either you don't know me, maybe you came over from Mod Stream and you don't know me, or you knew me from Jedi Council, Jedi Alliance, Collider, Screen Junkies, all that stuff. You knew me from about 2012 on. Prior to that, I would say I was a Simpsons fan on par with me as a Star Wars fan now. Like, knowing me as a Star Wars fan, like I was prior to digital media explosion. I was a Simpsons fan, bar none, and love it. And some of my favorite episodes. It's funny, Conan's getting a lot of talk this week and the last couple of weeks after the Hot Ones appearance. The Monorail episode's one of my favorites. Conan O'Brien wrote the episode that hooked me as a Simpsons fan because I didn't watch it right away. I remember seeing it on Tracy Ullman's show and all that stuff, but it's like season 2 or 3, and it is. I even forget the whole. I forget the episode, but Mo Sizlak leaves the bar, and there's a whale. Some of you might remember the episode. There's a whale involved, and Mo Sizlak leaves the bar, and he tells Barney to watch the bar. So Mo's doing his stuff, and it cuts back to Mo's tavern, and Barney Gumble is over the bar drinking beer directly out of the nozzle, and he's drinking it, and that's funny. And then he stops, and he's like, "Oh, my heart stopped. Oh, there it goes." I'm doing more the teenage kid. I'm not doing a Barney, and that hooked me. And it was a Conan written episode. Now, writers and there's a writer's room and everyone like that. And even Conan was talking about the Monorail episode it was his episode, but a lot of ideas of other people in it. But it was a Conan written episode. And that absolutely hooked me. So there's that. Who Shot Marge? The Homer and Marge, his mother, or excuse me, the Homer and his mother one early on. That's very poignant. The one in which Homer gets, nowadays we probably look at this episode slightly different, but one where Homer gets extra fat and he wears the moo and everything. That might be my favorite episode. That might be the style of humor, because yes, it's doing a joke about Homer's weight, and I don't think that's always a comedy minefield you want to mine. I would agree with that. But the moo stuff is funny, the honk if you're horny and all the stuff. But the moment where Homer tries to dial the phone and his fingers are a little too thick for the phone, and the operator's like, he's like trying to call in a crime, and it says, "You have selected regicide. If you know the name of the king or queen that's being murdered, press 1." I just love the levels of that joke. I just love the levels of that joke. Yeah, there you go. Matt Grady's favorite line is from the monorail one. I call that big one, Bitey. Yeah. So I kept watching The Simpsons for a rather long time. Like, there was a point in time where the pop culture take was that The Simpsons sucked now, that it wasn't as good as it used to be. And I was still watching, and I disagree with that to the end. I really do. I think the show had to go through some changes. You're going through writers. It's not about the quality always maintaining the same. Of course, there's going to be dips, and there's going to be great episodes. That's just you're being that creative for that long. But there was some of the smartest, and I don't have them on recall, so don't challenge me. But there was a baseball episode about Bill James and sabermetrics. It was just so deep and smart, and it was about season 15 or 16. They were doing great stuff. Now, I fell off because I just fell off on a lot of things. So what I always say, I did not stop watching The Simpsons for some quality issue. Life moved on. I got out of the rhythm. I don't have cable anymore, But now that I can watch them on Hulu, I watched the first episode of season 35. Right, that's the one they're on now. Whatever the new season is, 35 or 34. Watch the first one, and there was at least 3 moments where I laughed out loud, and I was like, "They got me. They're back. I'm back." So it's on my mind. It's on my mind to get back and catch up on some Simpsons. That was the Bart and the Pool episode, but also a good one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. And I don't want to name drop. But through Jennifer Miro, I've got to hang out several times, communicate with one of the nicest people in the world, who also is an original OG Simpsons like animator, director, writer, everything, named David Silverman. And I'm not around him a lot. Every time I'm around him, he's just immediately one of my favorite people. And absolutely, I chatted him up at a bar one night at a Jen Murrow birthday party years ago. And the next day she was like, "Oh, you got to meet David of The Simpsons." I was like, "Oh my God, I didn't even know. He didn't even know." He's just a genius and fun. And I think The Simpsons is still firing on all cylinders. There you go. Brian Jackson McClunky is here. I'm almost ready to get on out of here. You guys are bringing up great questions. Brian Jackson, Mr. McClunky says, "You missed your birthday." Well, you didn't miss my birthday. You didn't miss my birthday. It's tomorrow. We're doing the birthday show now. If you got a super chat, all that stuff, you can hit it now, but I'm almost out of here. Live callers, it's still possible. Kingsport Cal says, "I'm disappointed more people ain't calling in. I want to hear from y'all." You know what, Kingsport Cal, I agree with you. If you're a channel member, if you are a Patreon supporter, you get to call into the show live. That's the price of admission. You get it. Find that. Call in. David, Jen points out David directed Homer in the Land of Chocolates, one of my favorite episodes. Aaron always says this. I've got nothing to say. She's a published author. She has nothing to say. Rich T says, "Thank you for answering The Simpsons." Thank you for asking. Michael McCarthy says, "Honestly, I'm just glad 5 more minutes turned into 25. I got to go, though. I have to get some writing done, or otherwise Jen Murrow's going to yell at me. I got some writing I got to get to, and it's related to something she's working on. I got to get to at least 30 minutes before I put on sweatpants and play Fortnite the rest of the night. So there you go. Rich T follows up. Did I watch Futurama? I did watch Futurama early on. Rich T says right on air. I did watch Futurama. I wasn't a super, super big Futurama fan, but I definitely enjoyed it. That was also the time. And Alden, way back at the beginning of the show, Alden Diaz and I talked about time slots and times and the water cooler shows, and we all watched the same thing in general. So when Futurama debuted, just like when Family Guy debuted, like we all watched it. We all figured out King of the Hill. Did we like this? Was it there? Was it a thing? And yeah, so I watched Futurama because of that there. Jedi Germs says, happy earlier birthday. Thank you, Jedi Germs. Thank you. Tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow is the big day. Ken Plume wants to know from Jennifer Muro, best hamburger in Ronkonkoma. What is with all these Long Island names? And I know a lot of them have indigenous backgrounds, so don't take that as an insult. I'm not being an asshole. I'm just saying I can't say all these names. I am a dumb white guy. What's going on in Long Island? Just say, Townville. Just give me some dumb white name. There we go. I am almost out of here. I promise it. I'm almost out of here. You guys have all been wonderful. I appreciate the super chats on the show tonight. Appreciate the support. Appreciate y'all hanging in here. Yeah, the Blathering Live. We're going to do more episodes. So you can subscribe on Twitch. You can subscribe here on YouTube. And you made a hamburger out of that pronunciation. I always say pronunciation. It's so weird. It's stuck in I said it once wrong on a VO, and it's never left my mind. But we do this weekly. Thursdays will be the night for the Blathering Live main show. We'll do some other ones. Don't forget, tomorrow on the Anytime with Ken and Alden YouTube channel, we will be going live on my birthday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. We'll be talking about wrestling with Legacy, having some more deep thoughts on life and all those type of things as I turn 48 tomorrow. Not sure if I'm in Farmingdale, Massapequa, but that would be all American burgers. See? Yeah, see? Oh, see? Murrow, you weren't here earlier when Johnny M from Long. That's exactly what his answer was. All American burger. I've got to get there. All right, thanks to Mod Garrett again for bringing all the people over. And if you hung out and stayed with me for a few minutes on Twitch, I appreciate that. Really, really do subscribe so you can get in here in future episodes. That's it. That's my time. Thank you all for hanging out. Bye.